Cut her off.
Tell you something, brother.
Who are these people?
Notice me, senpai. Notice me.
Don't be rude.
Who are these people?
Alrighty. Welcome to episode 13 of Pro Wrestling Talk. I'm your host, Angel Rivera, alongside Mrs.Witchy Perfect, who's looking like a witch this week, and alongside D. Welcome everyone to the show, and thank you very much for joining us. Excuse the tardiness; that's completely my fault. I mean, I have a Mother's Day party tomorrow, and it got me insisted on getting clothes right before the show, so apologize for that. And I want to wish everybody happy Mother's Day, especially all the mothers out there. God bless you all, or whatever you believe in. And without mothers, none of us would be here. So happy
Blessed
Mother's
Day to everybody. And the reason why I'm wearing the hat, sorry to cut you off, Angel.
No,
the reason I'm wearing the hat is because we hit 40K on my channel, and so I put a poll up for everyone in my community page to vote, and they voted for the witch's hat. So thank you to all my subscribers. When we hit 50K, I probably will do another poll, and hopefully it will be like me singing on Rumble or something.
Well, I mean that would be something, but yeah, I mean, thank you everybody for joining us. Make sure you give me a like if you haven't already. Please subscribe. I mean, my channel's been stuck at 280 something subscribers now for a while. So if you like the channel, like my content, please subscribe. That it helps. And make sure you like too and subscribe to INN if you haven't already. So those what word am I looking for right now? Those plugs are out of the way, so let's get started. So CBC voter, thank you. Happy Saturday. Your mama's fat. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you like your mama's fat. I just noticed that, and I don't know why. Even though it was on last week, I'm like, I didn't even realize it. So yeah, thank you. So let's get started. This week we have a lot of interesting topics. Where you want to get started? Because I'm kind of discombobulated because I'm running late. So
I say we start with the Ric Flair fiasco.
Okay, that's a good place to start. Let's get that over with. So I don't know when, earlier this week, Ric Flair was in a restaurant/bar, and of course, he manages to get shit-faced drunk, and I shouldn't have said it that way, but whatever. We managed to get drunk, and he got himself kicked out of a restaurant. I have the video, so we can play that real quick. Because I did bookmark it because I wanted to actually go to the video because it's obvious Ric Flair is drunk, and it's sad to see him like that. A legend, or even though you're not a fan, Steph, but he's still a legend. He's been in the game a long time. So
wait a minute, let's go with woo. Yo, Steph, you're looking beautiful. What's going on?
Thank you, D. Thank you.
Let's
and
go.
If my ex is with my son, if my son is on, I love you. I'll see you tomorrow.
Nice. Let's do it.
Yeah. I mean, so
Ric Flair reminds me of a young me, but he's not young.
What, you used to get drunk all the time?
I mean, snooky wasted. I would call it.
Did I hit a nerve there?
It's more like Snooki Wasted, if you know the
Oh
Jersey Shore.
no! Oh no!
Oh.
Not
But Ric
red-handed.
Flair, I mean, like, but Ric Flair for being his age, come on, Ric, relax.
I mean, you can literally hear him say, "I cut you off," and then he calls the guy a D word.
Oh,
Yeah, go ahead, Angel.
So there is some subtitles here. It's about 3 minutes long, so it's not that long. So I'm guessing a worker at the restaurant took this video because it's from behind the counter. Because you see all the liquor
Either
here
that
and
or it's
stuff.
like the CTV security camera or something.
Yeah,
It could
somebody.
be
It
the
looks like cell phone.
security.
Looks like cell phone video, but yeah, it could be that too.
Could be.
Yeah. So let's get to the nature boy embarrassing himself and being drunk.
woo.
Yeah, good. Well, I did anything wrong. Except spend money and put this place over and bring my family and friends here.
Money to put this place over, like the
Is
wrestling,
he
you
doing
know.
a promo, right?
Yeah, like
I
he's
did
putting
right
it
by
over.
you. I put you
From one
over.
bar
Yeah.
to the other,
Ooh.
from one bar to the other.
Oh my gosh!
I just
can't.
know it's like I spent money to put this place over. Like he's like he's cutting a promo or something. All right, let's keep going.
Yeah, like seriously.
Bad for you.
That's bad for you.
Well, watch social media tomorrow.
The-
Well, you better. What's your name, nut job? Nicholas what? Nicholas Dickhead. Don't ever talk. You don't have to call me like that. You don't have to do this to me. If you really made me my family.
What?
I didn't do one thing wrong. I walked into the bathroom.
What does the bathroom have to do with anything?
I didn't do one thing wrong. I just went to the bathroom. Unfortunately,
Did I
I've
miss the
been-
part where literally he says, "I cut you off"? Did I miss that part?
I think that happens later, but yeah, I mean
Okay.
the work.
But yeah, he
that-
says, "I cut you off," and then
The-
that's when like Flair gets. He's like, he looks at the girl and says, "You just give yourself $1,000 tip, babe."
yeah, that's
I'm just
later.
like, oh god, come on, really?
And that's later. Ric Flair-
Ah,
Kid guy across says, really? What world do you live in?
can barely make two
What
sentences.
world do you live in?
Eh,
How
eh,
did that cost?
that costume.
That costume.
Did I touch you?
Did I touch you?
I never said cuss word.
I never said
No,
cuss
is
word.
that his word or it's yours?
Yeah,
I
from the
didn't
backside,
say
that
one
dude
cuss
looks like
word.
AJ Styles. Kind of look.
Technically, the D word is a phallic.
Yeah, Ric
It's a
Flair
phallic.
did say a cuss word there. So, hello, Mastermind. Thank you for joining us. Please give us a like if you haven't already. Yeah, I mean, Ric Flair. He thinks it's 1986 still, and he's cool. He isn't cool. He hasn't been cool for a long time. So,
God. No, ma'am, I'm gonna give you $1,000 tip.
there it is.
$1,000 tip.
To him, kiss
It's my ass.
You walk outside here. I know. You are.
You
gonna
walk
do this
outside,
to
I'm
me.
gonna beat your ass. I'm Ric Flair.
Telling me to leave. Oh, I'm cut
I
off.
cut
He's
you
cut
off.
off.
There, he says, I cut you off.
So the
'Cause he was
bartender's being responsible. You have a
Right.
nearly 80-year-old man
Drunker
out-
than a
just
skunk.
yeah.
Drunker than
And-
he was 3 sheets to the wind, as they say.
Ooh,
And
ooh,
somehow
Greg.
he's mad.
Unbelievable.
Greg says, "I'm on my way home. I'll be in a little bit." That's fine.
Okay.
I mean,
Get home
join
Okay.
us when you get home.
Oh,
But
gosh.
yeah, I mean, Ric Flair just embarrassed himself, and everything's recorded these days. If you're
Yeah.
gonna go out in public, assume you're being recorded because you probably are. So
Right. I reserve all comments till we end, and then I will.
yeah, we got
get
another
my
minute
fun,
of this.
You know.
Oh. Let's get it. Oh, he's twisted. Look at him.
Please give yourself
Up $1,000 tip.
Can barely make 2 sentences.
This guy and I are so cool.
I mean, the dude's probably saying, "I'll take the 1,000. Just leave, dude."
Yeah.
Along comes Egyptian.
I said it.
He called the guy an Egyptian. How does he know?
Along comes Egyptian.
And he points at the guy in blue.
Here
Egyptian.
comes Egyptian. And
So
Egyptian.
Ric Flair-
He calls him Egyptian.
So Ric Flair is kind of being racist there because he's assuming that he's
Oh my
this guy's
goodness gracious.
Egyptian.
Oh my goodness gracious.
I'll say it again. You're Egyptian.
Ah, come on.
I'm leaving. Trust me.
Oh, I'm leaving.
Really?
Come back yet. Come on inside here and talk.
You're like a man.
Yeah, I'm gonna fight you. I'm gonna fight you, man. I can't even talk because I'm drunk.
See, that's what
Oh,
a real
how do
man
you know? Have
does.
you pulled his pants down and checked?
Right. I
I'm
mean, that's
sorry.
what a real man does. I mean, you just
I'm gonna fight you in the parking lot.
right.
Now this guy here in gray is kind of confronting Ric Flair here. He's like, okay,
Yeah.
we'll take it outside.
Yeah, we'll
And
take
Ric
it
Flair's
outside.
like, I mean,
The-
come on,
the-
man. I didn't mean to. I'm talking to him, not you.
Yeah, I ain't got a problem with you. I give this woman $1,000 tip, and the one woman walks behind him and says, "You don't have to talk to us like that. You can just leave."
You know, the
Thanks.
sad thing, the sad thing, I think this was like 1 p.m. and he's still,
Yeah, and he's
Uh-huh.
totally inebriated.
right,
Yeah, he is hammered.
right.
I mean, I've been this hammered. Trust me, I can tell.
I think
I
I've
don't think
never
you
been-
called anybody a dipshit or
Yeah,
a,
right.
No,
or
Me
I've
either.
never been. I've never been kicked out of a bar or anything like that. But I've been. Bartenders have said you're done. And it's like,
Right.
And you have to kind of say, yeah.
Yes.
If you can't say 2 sentences, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Put the drink down now.
Yeah, but I was like in my 20s then. Now I'm a lot more responsible. But Ric Flair has not matured since 1986. I mean, he's still acting like he's the nature boy, styling and profiling and woos and all that stuff.
And I can't believe he talks about his family and his friends. I'm thinking, what family? Your girlfriend?
His sixth wife. How many times been married?
About 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Because he's cheated on all of them.
Yeah.
What about 8? I go with 8.
8.
Right, I'm saying.
And currently he's married to a woman younger than me, I think. Younger than us. So it's like,
Yeah, younger than us.
and he's like nearly 80. So let's see what else. Let's finish this out. Was that?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. What's that?
What'd you say to me? You.
So this woman comes behind this guy.
I need one of those little bar straws for
This is in Florida, right?
I think so. I don't know exactly where this was at. All right, that's the end of that. But I mean, the Ric Flair restaurant incident is exactly how you would imagine it. Clearly, an inebriated Flair is angry because he got cut off and decided to make a scene.
Yep.
Well, this is the same guy who on the plane ride from hell exposed himself to a woman and did something inappropriate. So, yeah. So I'm not surprised that the nature boy, is doing stuff he's not supposed to be doing.
So this woman, if you look at the woman that's standing there with her hand on her hip there, she kind of confronts Flair as well. And I think she had come from, like, she was over here somewhere, over there. But to be honest, I mean, yeah, this is just embarrassing.
Big time.
I mean, yeah, that's just absolutely embarrassing for Rick. And I'm like, really? And I saw that. I'm like, oh no, I mean, this isn't the first time he's done this, and it won't be the last time. This is a man who has not matured past, 30, 40 years old? I mean, he's nearly 80.
And
he has
go ahead.
And he has a pacemaker in his heart. And he nearly died twice in the last 3 years. So
he nearly deleted, yeah.
Yeah, and the nature, he still thinks he's the nature boy. And this is 1986, and he doesn't realize, look, man, you're an old man now. Nobody cares. It's like the world's moved on without you. You're not the superstar you once were.
And sadly, I mean, it's all these YouTubers, they'll do that. The rise and fall and Ric Flair. I mean, it keeps falling and falling and falling. I'm like, come on. I mean,
Ric Flair. I mean, some of these YouTube channels will have him on, and he's drunk too. I've seen those, and they'll use him to get views, but they're laughing at him at the same time. So really scummy people who do that, but
So glad I
And
didn't ask to have him on my show. Talk about Kurt.
yeah, I mean,
You
he
know,
would.
Well,
It
and I'm
wouldn't go
sorry,
well,
Andrew,
probably. Go
and
ahead.
yeah,
No.
and the sad, and you know, the weird thing about Flair is that I remember years ago he was invited to the what is it, the college football Saturday thing that they got, and
Hmm.
he was sober. The weird thing is that he doesn't know how to be sober. You know, like when he's
No,
sober, he's not doing the woo. Like he'll do a woo, like he'd be like woo, but when he got a couple of drinks on,
he's Ric Flair again.
woo.
Hmm.
Right.
He only knows how to be Ric Flair drunk these days, and which is why he's constantly has alcohol in his system.
Mm.
Um, I remember when I saw a documentary or something on YouTube where he admitted to a sports psychologist that he would have like 12 martinis every day, and he would drive around, with alcohol in his system, and he would wrestle alcohol in his system a lot of times.
he is very lucky he's not like Tammy.
Yeah,
Mm.
Look what happened with Tammy Stitch or Stitch.
Yes,
yeah,
yeah.
He's
he's lucky.
very
Yeah,
lucky that he's
and he's
not like
lucky.
her.
He's lucky to have a liver. I mean, somebody who said
Right.
that. I think it was Missy Hyatt who said that. He's lucky to have a liver still, a
All
functioning
right.
one.
So here's my rant.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
One of the many, many reasons why I didn't like Ric Flair to begin with. I've seen countless, and I can't tell you how many countless uh, interviews with other wrestlers. Hi, Kit.
Take it.
As promised. Okay. Anyway, back to my rant. This is one of the many, 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 many reasons why I didn't like Ric Flair. Countless interviews where they said, like, his friends, literally people who were his friends, would come out and say, "Oh, by the way, he cheated me," and
Mhm.
if it didn't fit Ric Flair or it didn't benefit Ric Flair, literally, it didn't happen. And so
Yep.
I can't say enough about how much I really just don't like Ric Flair, even as a person, because, and I was telling my man this the other day too, that I feel that this literally, yeah, he's stuck in his gimmick. Exactly.
Yeah. That's
Exactly
what
what I
he
told
is.
my
Yeah.
man the other day.
Hmm.
He thinks he's the nature boy and he just can't, he thinks he's that character. He
Yeah.
can't be Richard, whatever the frick his last name
Right.
is.
Yeah, Flair.
Yeah. Well,
Hmm.
I don't know what his last name is. I just know it's
It's
Richard
Flair. It's something Flair, but
No, it's
it's spelled
Fleer.
different.
It's
Yeah,
pronounced
right. It's
Fleer,
spelled
but yeah.
right.
Flair. Okay.
Yeah.
So, be that person, but he can't. He can't be that person
He
because he
doesn't
doesn't
know
know
who
how.
Richard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rick's the nature boy gimmick has taken over his mind, and I, no offense, but he kind of reminds me of like a demented Joe Biden. Because literally, I see the
Mm.
dementia. I mean, he's 80 years old. He can't
Yeah.
be he can't be Ric Flair anymore. He's not that person, but he
Right.
just can't let go of it. He
He can't
he
let
won't
go.
accept the fact that
He
he's
accept.
older now and that he can't get into the ring and wrestle, and that's why he had a last
Oh,
match at 72.
yeah.
Right.
Talking about that last match. What's his name? His son-in-law. He co-hosts Eric Bischoff's
Oh,
show. Conrad.
Conrad
Yes.
Thompson.
Yeah, and I got mad at him. I mean, when he announced that pay-per-view, I'm like, you're using your father-in-law to get a payday? Oh no, yeah, he responded, oh no, what are you talking? No, I mean, he wants to do this. I'm like, I'm sure he does. Doesn't mean you have to take advantage of him
Right.
and promote this pay-per-view. I
Well,
mean,
that's, I don't like Conrad Thompson either.
yeah, I mean,
Any moron can marry Ric Flair's daughter.
yeah, and he's like cashing in on the Ric Flair name in this final match,
Right.
so
And he
and he
trapped her with a
admitted,
daughter.
yeah, and he admitted that he had a heart attack during the match. Ric Flair,
He had several. He almost
yeah, he had a
bleeded.
heart attack during the match. Yeah, and so I'm like,
Yep.
and
Yeah,
then
that was crazy.
he comes out with the world heavyweight title, his old title, and he's holding it up, like he's holding it literally because he can't, the strap won't fit him anymore, and it's like a sad display. I mean, it was a tag team match. It was him and Andrade versus Jeff Jarrett and somebody else.
Jeff Jarrett and
Jay Lethal, I think it was.
Jay Lethal, yeah.
Yeah, it
Because
was a.
Jarrett has a podcast and Conrad was like, "Well, I don't have to talk to you, but I do have to contractually. I was like, oh, come on, stop it with the stupid stuff. We know
Yeah.
that Ric Flair, he literally, this is what Jim Cornette said. He literally wants to pass in the ring. That's what Jim
Yeah.
Cornette's thought process.
Yeah.
So like literally, I mean, I feel bad for the guy because I think he has dementia. I'm sorry, guys, but I
can't
think
let
Ric
him.
Flair has dementia and he cannot live as a normal
somebody
person.
else.
He has to be
Mhm.
that gimmick and it has to come out. He's cheated on every wife he's ever had. He's been married about 6 or 7
Mhm.
times. He probably has multiple kids to many women. I mean,
Yeah.
I no offense, but what do you women see in Flair? Is it the money? Because he's freaking ugly. Oogly. He's
Well, hold on.
oogly.
Hold
He's
on.
oogly.
Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Wait. Wow. I was about to say, yo, shout out. I see Kid, Greg, Coco, all
Yeah.
that. Wait a minute. Wasn't that dude, what's this guy's name? Tommy Dreamer, who might have said something about,
He
you
used to be
know,
putting on. That's right.
right.
Yeah.
But they
Tommy
wasn't
Dreamer?
right. Then he says, I remember it was they did a documentary on the dark ring,
Dark
I
Side
believe,
of the
about
Ring episode.
about the flight to hell, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
plane
plane
ride from
ride.
hell.
And then the Tommy Dreamer made a comment, something like, "Well, the stewardess," and then, well, I guess if he made a comment about the size of Ric Flair's, whatever.
Ding-a-ling.
Yeah,
Right.
his
Ding-a-ling.
And
It's
I'm like,
Johnson.
okay,
Just say.
right. So wow. I mean,
I'm sorry,
just,
but how many would no? Honestly, be honest, ladies out there who are old enough to remember Ric Flair. How many of you have seen his dingling? Come on. He used to
right.
get naked for fun
Yeah.
and just
Yeah,
like
he would
walk in the
expose
snow
himself.
with whoever
Yeah.
he was messing with
Yeah.
and literally flash everybody,
Yeah, he would
in the
Right.
hotel. He would
he
get
get
naked and run around
he
the
would
hotel.
on the plane ride from hell, he literally
So be
got naked.
honest.
He got naked, he got in his Ric Flair robe and started
Right.
doing this to the
Right, and
boys.
started doing this to the boys, like,
And
everyone
they're all
I mean,
laughing. Yeah.
how many boys have seen his dingling? Come on, be
A
honest,
lot,
guys.
most of
I
them.
guess
How many
Tommy
guys have
Dreamer.
seen his
Wait,
dingling?
I guess Tommy Dreamer was the one that said, he was.
Oh,
He
Tommy
said
yeah,
He
he
was
said
Tommy's
he
a
well
was
good
well,
endowed.
guy.
and no, he
Tommy's
said
a good
well.
guy.
Right, he said he's well endowed, and I'm like, okay, all
Well,
right,
good for him.
Tommy, good
That
for
doesn't mean
you.
we want to see it, and that doesn't mean
Mhm.
the stewardess wanted to see it. I mean, for heaven's sake, no offense, Ric Flair, but nobody
Oh
wants to see
shit!
your dingling. You are 80
Right,
freaking years old. Come on.
Yeah.
But no one wanted to see it then. I mean, no, everyone, yeah, okay. So we used to get drunk and rib people. Okay, great. So you get drunk and you rib people, but again, how many of the boys honestly can honestly say they have not seen Ric Flair's dingling? Come on.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
it's a little disgusting at this point.
right,
I'm like,
right.
oh, hey, I'm glad I didn't have to see any of that.
Well,
Okay.
well, Shawn Michaels in there, right?
Well, I don't
Let's
want to see Shawn Michaels either.
Well, so-
No, Sean, keep it in the pants.
Was
Keep it in the pants. Ugh.
was it Mr. Perfect there? Wait a minute.
Hey,
Wait
I
a
would
minute.
love to
Hey,
see his dingling. He can show me his dingling anytime, baby.
because it's perfect.
But Brett, you just stay away. Stay away. Stay away.
Wow.
Ding dong.
Wow.
Kids.
What's going on, kid? I
Well,
see
let's see.
Coco,
Kids in the
man.
chat,
What's
thank you
going
very
on?
much for
Oh,
joining us for a while.
jeez.
Coco Marie, thank you for the support. Appreciate it. There's a lot of chatting here, and thank you.
Nice. That's
Thank
good.
you, Coco.
Yeah, please like and subscribe. I mean,
Hey, I like Shawn Michaels too. That doesn't mean I want to
Yeah.
see his dingling. Okay.
yeah. Well, we're talking about Ric Flair, and that's people were confused. Like they're coming
Oh
in,
my
and it's like,
goodness. Okay.
all right,
Well,
Kit, thank you for
Kit,
joining us.
and tip of the hat to you, Kit.
Thank you for joining us for a bit.
Yep.
But
Good talk, buddy.
yeah, I mean,
Mm-mm.
I'm having fun with you. Thank you
Of
again.
course, Coco. I know. I'm having fun too. Again, I just don't want to see no one's dingling except for Kurt's. I don't mind if Kurt Hennig got naked in front of me. I'd be like, let's go bedroom now.
I would not be surprised if Tony Khan desires to put Ric Flair back in the ring.
Oh, but and I
Oh
heard this.
no.
Someone said, "Well, at least he's Tony Khan's problem, not Vince McMahon's problem." But
Mm.
that's why I think Vince let him get away pretty much with what he got away with, because Tommy
Yeah.
Dreamer and Justin Credible were the ones who were saying, "Oh, Kurt and Brock were not even near the airplane.
Mhm.
They or
Yeah.
the exit door.
The
They
exit
weren't
door.
even near the door." Now this is Tommy Dreamer and Justin Credible, okay? And JBL also said they weren't
Yeah.
even near the door.
Yeah, but even if they did tumble into the door, you're 30,000 feet. There's a lot of pressure there. There's no way that door would open at
Unless it
30,000
falls
feet.
off, but then again, they weren't having issues with
Mhm.
stuff
Mm,
falling off the plane because this was a
mhm.
private jet.
Yeah, so chances are it's not going to, the
Right. This
door
was
wouldn't
Vince's private
open.
jet,
Yeah.
so they are more safety precaution than poor people getting on a Boeing.
Yeah, those Boeings are falling apart, which
Right.
something I covered a few weeks ago on the show, on my other show, Angel in the Afternoon. Your
uh,
mama's fat says I would like to see a lot of women wrestlers. I'm naked, blah blah
I'm sure
blah.
you would.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh
a
my
lady,
Thank
goodness.
so
you
I
for
don't want to
that.
see them.
Yeah.
But
Nope.
like
But I will say one
that's
more thing, if
go
I
ahead.
can, Angel, just one
Yeah,
more
sure.
thing. So, Jim Cornette, and apparently I listened to the experience because they just had it on. Um, that I just listened to the rest of it today. So, they didn't see the video. So the video must have come out as after they recorded. I think they
Yeah.
recorded on May 5th. So apparently they didn't see the video, but they were like appalled. They're just like, come on. Why would you spend $1,500 on a pizza? And of course, Brian
Yeah,
Last is laughing his behind off. He thinks it's the
But
Mm.
funniest
Jim
thing he's ever heard of. But I mean,
Jim
they just didn't see the video.
yeah, Jim looked up to Flair and worked for Flair. It wasn't he was booking with Flair. That's why
But
he's
he
kind of
thinks
like,
he's gone off his rocker now.
yeah,
And
I
Jim's
know. That's
right.
why. Yeah, Jim feels like, oh come on, Rick. I mean,
Yeah, it's like,
like,
come on, Rick. We used to hang out. We used to do
yeah,
good things together. And now it's just like, okay, I think he's got dementia.
yeah.
And I'm trying
Oh,
to
Unfortunately,
be nice, as nice as I can be. I just think the
yeah.
dude has dementia. I'm sorry.
Oh.
You almost like hate. It's kind of like you have a hero that goes downhill like health wise and stuff, and you're like, oh, that stinks. Well, what did someone said? Never meet your heroes. Jimmy Dore said it. Never meet your
yeah.
heroes because they kind of will let you down.
Right.
Oh yeah, they usually do, unfortunately, and I'm glad I never, you're meeting your hero. Honestly, as an adult, you really shouldn't have heroes. I mean, that you should rely on yourself and be self-reliant and not really look up to anybody. But that's just my opinion.
Can I
Uh,
look up to my son? Because my son is kind of my hero.
Well, sure. I mean, that's your child. That's different,
Mwah, I love you,
That's your
baby.
creation, Witchy. Let's
That's
go.
right.
Wait a
He's my
minute.
little hero.
Is his name Kurt?
No.
That's where you messed up at.
Well, his name does come from a very famous uh, um, anime that came over in the 80s. They didn't keep their Japanese names, they gave
Okay.
them, American names.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
Okay.
he's named after the the leading male character, I'll just say. I prefer
Okay.
not to say his name if that's okay.
No, that's
But
fine.
if
You
you
don't have
ever
to say
see
his name.
Sailor Moon, so if you see Sailor Moon, it's the leading boy character
Mm.
Okay.
that he's named
Okay.
after.
That's
Okay.
cool.
Well, now I do want to move on from the Nature Boy because we talked about him
Woo.
enough, and we
And
don't
it's
want to give him more
disgusting. It's really
attention.
disgusting to sit
I
there and
think he's
watch an
just
old
Oh
guy
man.
who's inebriated and
eh,
just literally is so narcissistic and full of himself that he can't just move on and just be Richard
Fleer,
Fleer.
but he doesn't know that like you said, he. I mean, or Greg said in the chat, he's the gimmick. He's the Nature Boy. He
Right.
can't be another his. He can't. He doesn't know who he is without that
Right.
gimmick.
Mm.
Kind of like Hogan. Hogan acts the same way
Oh
too.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
1986.
I was about
I
to say
told
that.
someone that Hogan lies all the time, and they
Yeah.
looked at me as if I had three heads. I was like, yeah, Hulk Hogan lies.
Right.
Yeah.
Hello,
Big
they've
time.
debunked a lot of his lies.
we could do an entire episode on Hogan's
I
lies.
mean, we could do like 3 or 4 episodes on all
Yeah.
his
Yes.
We
lies.
could break down all his lies and laugh at him. But
But yeah, like I literally, someone like looked at me as if I had 3 heads and was like, "No, really?" I'm like, "No, I'm
yeah,
dead serious."
And then it's funny because on my YouTube I get recommendations because I follow the wrestling, and
Yeah.
there's different YouTubers out there that does the same thing. Hogan lies, Hogan lies, Hogan lies. I mean, it comes to a point that it's like I don't want to watch because whatever.
It's
It's Hulk
almost like
Hogan.
a
Yeah.
little bit of
yeah.
a car accident, you know? You don't wanna
Right,
look, but
right.
you just can't help but look.
Uh,
Or like a
Yeah.
deer in the headlights. It's like a deer in the
It's
headlights,
exactly.
kinda like, "Oh, you know what's gonna
it's
happen."
sad.
And then the sad thing, the many people that he screws, and he still think like, well, I did the right thing because
And you know, no everybody, not only does Hogan lie, but Beefcake too has picked up from Hogan.
oh,
Yeah,
must be.
Beefcake can't stop lying either,
I
and
think
he's
it's a
lied
Florida
about
thing, man.
everything.
I think it's a so they all from like St. Petersburg, right? My
Yeah.
Yeah.
understanding, Ric Flair.
Uh-huh.
And the
Yeah.
other day, so I think one of my
Oh
sisters in
shoot.
arms, they went to St. Petersburg.
I
I think
Mhm.
St. Petersburg,
I fucked
I
up.
think it's owned by like I got you, Angel. They got owned by Scientology. So maybe
Yeah,
it's
like he's
something
this big Christian and but his wife was supposedly a Scientologist. So what, he
right.
doesn't follow his wife
Yeah.
anymore? That's like
Uh-oh.
a big no-no in the Scientology
We're supposed to
people.
be
Yeah,
talking about Hogan too, right?
he
Yeah. Yeah, his
oops.
wife, his new wife that he married.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, apparently, Hogan is now born again Christian, which okay. We talked about that I
Right.
think last week or 2 weeks ago when his
Okay.
appearance in the 700 Club,
Mhm.
Pat Robertson's old show.
When he talked
So,
about that whole thing
Mm.
about Piper, and like I said, I looked in the comment section and someone said that was an Art Bell radio that he called into and apparently had said that on the radio.
Mm.
So Hogan must have got it somehow, and I don't know if maybe Hogan has dementia. Who knows? Maybe he actually
Hogan,
thought
but he
for
changed. But he changed his story, like I said then. I mean,
Thank you,
initially as
BX.
a phone call, and then later on the 700 Club became a text message.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, he changed his story. So it's not
Yeah,
even.
that's what Jim and Brian were talking about. Like, wait, so is it a text to voice or is it a voice message or what the heck is it? And Brian Lass is like, I don't know. He said it was a text message, then he said it was a voice message. But again,
Yeah.
you can't believe everything Hogan says. You can't believe
No.
anything Hogan
Right.
says.
No.
And
Right.
again, it
But
dishonors the real stuff that actually happened,
but
with family members.
that's the thing. Hogan has led an incredibly interesting life. He doesn't have to lie. He can just
Right.
tell exactly
Yeah.
what happened, and is holy shit. I mean, holy hell, Hogan led an interesting life. So, but no, instead he has to lie, and he has to, he has to embellish for no reason. BX Mays likes your hat stuff, so I just wanted to,
Thank you, BX.
Right.
I
yeah,
tipped my
wanted
hat
to
to them.
feature that. No, well, I wanted to bring up the WWE bringing back the King of the Ring tournament, or actually they're bringing back both the King and Queen of the Ring. You can't have just the King of the Ring.
Interesting. Does
Yes.
anyone want to say anything before we do about Backlash?
Um, we did that last week, didn't we?
Did we?
Yeah, I think. No, I talked about it last week. I don't know.
Okay.
You didn't see it at the time, so I'm not sure if you watched it, but you may have watched it since then. But
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay.
yeah, if not, then if you want to talk about it, you can. But we kind of did last week.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
talking about how loud it was.
Oh yes, I mean that it was.
Wow.
It gave me a headache, and I really didn't like how loud it was. But that's just me. Some people loved it, like Greg said. Some people absolutely adored that crowd.
I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
Oh,
I
that's
enjoyed
right.
it.
We did talk about because
Yeah.
the Frenchmen were cheering
Yeah.
for everything, but they actually on the Jim Cornette Experience had all that. Apparently, they were actually singing stuff in French, and it was like,
Mhm.
yeah, he's in, he's cool, he's good, and then we just cheer, hey, let's go, our favorite person.
Yeah. It just it was too much for me. But yeah, the King and Queen of the Ring pay-per-view is the end of the month, I believe, in Saudi Arabia. So we're gonna have
Oh
another weird
gosh.
start time. So we're not gonna have to move the show or anything because it starts at 12 o'clock. In fact,
Mm-hmm.
So it
So
starts at
can we
12
talk a little
Eastern.
bit about the history of King of the Ring?
Yeah, we
Starting
because
with like the first one.
the last one was in Vince did one in 2017 or 18. No,
Okay.
it was during the pandemic because Xavier Woods won that, and then Roman Reigns destroyed he beat up Xavier Woods and put on the crown himself and destroyed it. That was the last time we saw it. That was 2021 ish. So they haven't done one since, and
Okay.
now they're gonna do it again. And since Triple H is now the booker, I expect they'll take it more seriously and actually push the King, and unlike like Vince used to do in the '90s.
Right.
Because if you remember back in the '90s, if you won King of the Ring, you would get a title shot at SummerSlam.
Right. Eventually, yeah. So what happened with the first one? If we could go to that one, of
Yeah.
course, we had Mr. Perfect versus Bret Hart. So we had a babyface versus babyface match, and I don't think it ended right, but I will give Bret Hart his due. Okay, dues to Bret Hart. Okay.
Because
Vince
he's the
wanted you to
best
be the
there is.
first. No, he wasn't. He was great,
The
but he
best there
wasn't
was.
perfect. But no, we just went over that match. Or no, we're about to. We're about to go over
Okay.
that match. Excuse me. I think it's episode 32. So we will be going over the King of the Ring match because there's some stuff in there I totally forgot about. I was just like uh Brett suplexes Kurt out and they both tumble to the floor. And I'm like, oh no, the back, Brett, please stop. Oh geez.
Yeah.
Please don't do that again. But no, I think he took care of Kurt. He knew, Kurt was still kind of hurting from his back. So I think he did take good care. I'll give kudos to Brett. Kudos for keeping Kurt safe. Thank you.
And then my
Still a
understanding
hard match to
was it
watch.
right, and then back then wasn't the like the King of the Ring, like you'll fight like twice in one pay per view or
Yeah,
It
something like that.
was
Brett
it was
faced
yeah.
Kurt, and then first it was Scott Hall, then
hmm
Kurt, then Bam Bam Bigelow, and that's when he won.
Yeah, it was two
Mhm.
matches. So you had to wrestle three times in one night, basically.
Yeah.
Especially if you were winning. Even if you go
Right.
into the final, you had to wrestle three times in one night.
Right.
So back now today's pay per view is only once. It lists here
Right.
Raw bracket winner versus SmackDown bracket winner for the King
Of
of the Ring
course.
final, and Raw versus SmackDown in the Queen of the Ring final. So only wrestling once, which
Of
is
course.
it's better on the body, but at the same
Yeah.
time,
Right.
that's not how
That's not
initially
how it was.
the tournament was.
And it's funny that Triple H wants to bring that back. No offense, but he was supposed to ring the 96 King of the Ring.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
look who won instead.
Yeah,
Stone Cold Steve
because
Austin.
Triple H got himself
The
involved in
hell
the curtain
yeah.
call.
Big trouble. He got in big
Yeah.
trouble. So I'm actually surprised that doesn't bring up bad memories for Triple H.
Well,
I mean,
he won
kudos
it.
to him for doing it.
He won it in '97, a year later. So it
Of
wasn't like he
course.
never won it, but
Okay.
but yeah, I mean,
Fair enough.
I'm sure that it's like it probably would bring up bad memories. But at the same time, he's like, I won it, so it wasn't like I went over eventually. But
I'm like,
everything happens for a reason. If
He
Triple
won it
H
in
should,
97? Really?
yeah, a
Because
year after, yeah.
yeah, because
Oh,
I
yeah.
think he faced The Rock, I believe. In
I
the
can in
SummerSlam.
'97.
okay, okay. I'm thinking of 98. I don't know why I'm thinking 98.
It could be one of those years.
No, it was 97. So SummerSlam 97 was probably Triple H versus Shawn.
Yeah,
If
it
that
was.
is
So
allowed to happen.
Hunter faced Ahmed Johnson in the semifinal,
Okay.
and then he defeated Mankind in the final. Mick Foley he defeated, and that's how he won the King of the Ring.
Okay.
Oh God, I forgot about Ahmed Johnson. He was awful. He was
Oh yeah.
atrocious.
Jim
Wow.
Cornette has nothing but bad things to say about that dude.
Great
I mean,
googly
that dude.
moogly.
Yeah,
Wow.
he was not a very nice person, nor was he a good wrestler.
No,
So
he was
according to
awful.
Jim Cornette, he not
And
a good person.
even some of his brothers, I believe, Mark Henry was like this dude. There's that story with Mark Henry and what's this guy Farouk, where Farouk got
Yeah.
hurt, and once he came back, he
Yeah,
laid one.
because he hurt Ahmed Johnson hurt Farouk, Ron Simmons, and when he
Right.
came back, he got his receipt basically. Ahmed
Right.
Johnson.
Hmm.
And that was
Yeah.
back in those days that happened. You hurt somebody, even you're gonna get a receipt. That's good. It doesn't happen so much today because wrestlers are pansies. But but I'll digress from that one. But yeah, I mean, there's a king and queen of the ring final. I don't know why they have a queen in the ring, but again, you have to be inclusive now. So there's a queen in the ring,
There
and
was a queen back in, well, she wasn't queen of the ring. She was just queen. It was king and queen. So Macho
yeah,
King and
uh huh,
Sherry.
yeah,
Sherry
Right.
was the first queen,
Oh
hmm
quote unquote
yes.
queen.
yeah,
Oh, come
but
on. I'm just, that's true. If you go back to 89 when
uh huh,
Savage was crowned, Sherry was with him, and that's the first king and queen. But
Remember.
there was such a thing called the crown, and they would fight for it
yeah,
in 88 and 89, because in 88 the king was Haku. Then in
yeah,
89 it was
Yeah.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and then later 89 it was the Macho King.
yeah. There was and King Harley Race too. Harley Race was
Yeah,
Oh
Harley
yeah.
Race was kind of like
Yes.
the first. Yeah. And then
because
he got
what
hurt.
the wrestling business back then was crazy. Vince and Harley Race got into a fight in
Mhm.
'83 or '84 in a bathroom because Vince wanted Harley to no show the first Starcade, and he offered him like $100,000, and Harley Race like no, because he's supposed to put over Ric Flair, and talking about
Mhm.
Ric Flair. Ric Flair's supposed to be the new champion. He's going to carry the NWA. But of course, Harley Race was like, "No, I'm not doing that." And then Vince challenged him to a fight. So, okay, let's go to the bathroom. And it didn't turn out well for Vince. Let's say that. And
Yeah, I think Vince got his butt kicked pretty
yeah, he
much.
didn't. It didn't turn out well for him. But what's funny is Harley would go work for him a few years later in '88. So
Right.
he became King Harley Race. That was wrestling. You would fight the promoter, and then he'll hire you a few years later.
Yeah, which
Mhm.
is crazy. Harley Race talks very highly of many people. Vince was not one of them. I've
No.
seen it was
Uh-huh.
a 2001. No, I think it was a 2000 interview with Harley Race. He talks very affectionately about Larry the Axe, because him and
Mhm.
Larry were tag team partners in the 65.
Mhm.
But he doesn't have anything nice to say about Vince.
I mean, very few people do, unless
Right.
Vince puts you over and you were a top
Right.
guy of his. That's different. But if not, then I mean, most of the wrestlers hated him. So, unlike Vince Senior, everybody for some like Vince Senior. A lot of the boys for the
Because
most
it
part.
was like more of a handshake, where Vince was more the corporate side of wrestling, where
Yeah,
his dad was kind of like in the with the territories. Uh, Thank you, Earl.
Earl
And
also.
so basically, Vince Senior was more of a territory guy.
Yes.
He ran the territories like the territories were always run.
Hmm.
It was Vince Jr. that kind of changed all that and made it all corporate.
Yeah, well, again, you bring up the territories. The territories were
Hmm.
dying, even in
Yeah.
84. When Vince started expanding, because cable just came out then, and you were
Right.
getting channels from
Mhm.
around the country at that point. Even though cable didn't have the reach that it would have in the '90s, but a lot of people had cable in the '80s, and they were starting to see a lot of these angles, and they're like, "Wait, this is like the same thing we see here." But the territories were dying,
What?
If it wasn't Vince, it would have been like we talked about
Yeah. If it
Vern, or it
wasn't
would
Vince,
have
it was going
been,
to be somebody else.
or it
It
was
could have
gonna be
been
Jim
Vern.
Right.
Crockett. Yeah,
Could have been. I'm
Hmm.
right.
Jimmy Crockett. Yeah.
somebody was gonna expand,
Yep.
and Vince was
Memphis. It could have been Memphis. Jerry
Vince
Jarrett.
was the first one because he had the most money because he's in New York territory.
Hmm.
So he had the New York territory, so he had most money, and so he was somebody's gonna expand. The question is
Right.
who, but yeah, I mean, let's stick with the pay per view that's happening at the end of the month. I tongue tie
Are you
myself
sure?
all the
Are
time.
you sure you're not inebriated? Three sheets
No,
to the
not yet.
wind.
I have water here.
Sure.
I have water
Sure.
here.
Right. Yeah.
I have a little.
Come on. I got water too, Angel.
I'm sure you do.
Sure, it's water.
Uh-huh.
No,
But
I have no water. I should have got water before the show, but oh well.
yeah, then there's only 5 matches announced, which is a Triple H thing. It doesn't have that many matches, but the matches go really long.
Hmm.
So Then you
I think
had
Kurt's and
Becky.
Brett's was 20 minutes.
Yeah, the like on the French pay per view. I mean, like earlier this month, they went long. A lot of these matches were like too long. They
Yeah.
only had 5 matches booked, so they had to go long. And most of the mat, I'm like, this is going too long. And some of them, not all of them. I mean, the Cody Rhodes, CM Punk. Let me try it again. Cody Rhodes
AJ
and
Styles.
AJ
AJ Styles. That was a
Styles.
great match. Yeah, that was a great
Yeah,
match. You
I
know, Dave
enjoyed it.
Meltzer gave that 5 stars.
Ooh.
Meltzer gave that match 5 stars. Cody and AJ Styles,
Come on.
which I was surprised by. He never gets 5 stars in WWE matches.
Yeah, but I think now it's just he's had so much feedback and so much pushback from WWF people that well, okay, I'll just give him 5 stars. Okay, look, the match between Kurt and Brett at 91 was 4 stars. No, that was a 5 star match because they had us on the edge of our seats at
Yeah,
every single second, and everyone wanted to see Kurt get his comeuppance. Again, he was Mr. Perfect.
yeah,
And he also hurt his back. But Brett trusted him and he trusted Brett to take care of him. And what did Brett do? He took care of him.
yeah. He
So
did.
we love you, Brett. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, Bret Hart never hurt anybody. He wrestled since the early '80s or maybe late '70s. Never hurt anybody. He was a technician.
Right.
He
I
did.
would give the Cody AJ maybe 4 stars. That's being
Yeah, because
generous.
It was a good match.
it's probably the best match of the night. The rest of them more like, and maybe because the crowd was so loud, but I didn't
Right.
like that pay per view. Then for the Queen King of the Ring show, we have Becky Lynch, the women's champion, versus Liv Morgan, who's a tiny little blonde haired girl.
I
And
think Becky Lynch keeps it.
yeah, she has to. There's no
I
way
don't
she
think it's her
drops it.
time to lose it, but again, I could be wrong about that. It's whatever Triple H wants to do. I have nothing to do with it.
Triple H doesn't change belts that often.
That's
So
true.
this is Becky's first defense, so chances are she's gonna retain. So it's rare when he changes belts quickly.
Mhm.
The only reason why he switched the belt because Rhea Ripley got hurt. She was supposed to have a long run like Roman Reigns.
Oh,
She was
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
walks out and then Dominic kind of follows her.
yeah.
That
And
was
they're
the
probably
angle.
setting up a
Yeah.
story where Dominic's having an affair with Liv Morgan when Rhea comes
Oh,
back.
come
They'll
on.
Wait
yeah,
a
Really?
minute.
because you
Wait a
see
minute.
in the background
That
in the
Latino
background
heat, they're gonna bring that back, man.
yeah, in the background of some segments, you see Liv coming out with Dominic from a locker in the background. So and people notice that.
Mm.
So that's probably the story they're going with Rhea returns in a few
Mhm.
months. So that's that match. And then we have the Intercontinental title match, triple threat, Sami Zayn champ versus Chad Gable versus Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed is that big, like fat dude, that he's Australian,
Big fat dude.
but he's huge. It's like 380
Plump.
pounds. And,
He's plump.
yeah. I don't like triple threat matches. Usually, they're more like there's like they're cluster. There's like too much going
Cluster.
on. In the
Yeah,
scene.
the
Yeah,
cluster
they're
stuff.
cluster. Yeah.
Lazy booking.
So yeah, the sticking. There should be Sammy versus Chad Gable 1-on-1. Sticking Bronson Reed there, it's kind of like trying
And
to
is it
force
for
him.
the belt? Triple
Yes, for
threat
the
match for the
Intercontinental
of course
title.
it is.
Yeah.
Sounds like Sami Zayn might just lose it because maybe Triple H had second thoughts. Maybe.
He shouldn't have taken the belt off Gunther, but he
Yeah.
did, and now he's they're kind of stuck because Sammy isn't a long-term champion. He's more like a transitional guy because
Right.
so he's not somebody who would carry the Intercontinental title long-term. I probably put it on Chad Gable. I mean, the story is Chad turned heel because he couldn't win the big one. He wins the big one. He should finally and carry that belt long-term because he kind of reminds me. He's 6 inches shorter, but kind of reminds me of Kurt Angle the way he's built, and he's a former amateur wrestler. He never competed in the Olympics, but he's like an amateur wrestler.
Yeah,
So
I'm sorry. I never liked Kurt Angle. Screw that guy.
Oh, come on, man.
He's from
I
Pittsburgh too. I
I
was like, oh,
especially
man.
I especially liked him when he was the wrestling machine, and he had that. He was like, he would just beat everybody up, and then
Now
in TNA. And then in TNA became Perk Angle, when he was on all the
Oh,
painkillers
yeah.
and alcohol and stuff. He was crazy then too. So.
Every time he would come out, I would just go, "You suck, dude. You suck."
You
It
suck.
doesn't matter. It didn't matter if he was a baby face or a heel. I would just go, "You
Mhm.
suck."
Yeah.
That's when mommy was little. She
And
was younger.
then the main event, I'm assuming, is Cody Rhodes, the WWE champion, versus Logan Paul, the US champion.
Logan Paul.
Yeah, that came out of
Um,
nowhere.
They set it up last night on SmackDown.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So
I
Logan
peeped that.
Paul is doing good things though. He
Appa-
he's doing the heel thing,
yeah, it's
and
good. It's great work,
yeah,
but
it's good. Who's he against? I'm sorry, say it one more time.
Cody,
Cody Rhodes.
Cody.
he's the main eventer,
Uh,
I'm assuming.
I don't see them taking the belt off Cody, to be
They're
honest.
not. But here's the thing.
Mm-mm.
Apparently, is title for title, so both belts are on the line.
Interesting. So Cody can be what's the title?
The
What's
U.S.
Logan's
title.
title?
U.S.
US. Okay, so it can be US champ like in WCW, or he can be both.
He can have. They're gonna have both belts. Whoever wins gonna have both belts, which
I'm
is
surprised
Cody.
it's a
But
title for title because again, I don't think they're going to take the belt off Logan Paul. Now again, I could be wrong about that. But why would you take the belt off Cody
no, you wouldn't.
at this
Logan
point?
has to take the fall. Either Logan eats the pinfall, or there's gonna be some kind of non-finish, a
Right.
disqualification.
So like a
That's what I'm
DQ.
thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everybody keeps their belts.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got an itch. Everybody keeps their belts, and they just kind of do okay. Yeah, I can see that. Yep.
There's got to
Or
be
a
some
count
kind of
out.
non-finish,
Mhm.
either a disqualification where Logan Paul's buddies come in and attack Cody.
Yeah, and
or,
that's exactly what I was thinking.
yeah.
Mhm.
Because there's no way they're taking. Why would you take the belt off Logan Paul right now? He's pretty hot as the U.S. champion in heels.
Or
So.
Cody. I
Or
mean,
Cody,
yeah.
yeah.
At this point,
You just crowned him your WWE champion. He's gonna be your
right.
guy. So it would make no
That's
sense to take the belts off him
It
either.
would be like the Hogan versus Warrior match at WrestleMania 6. Only, I mean, Warrior was the guy. I mean, unfortunately, he wasn't a good wrestler, but I mean, he was their guy in
Vin-
1990.
Vince shoved Warrior down the throats of the audience.
Yeah,
He shoved
I
him
didn't like
because
that.
he had matches with Andres, beating him every night, and initially the first month the fans hated it, and
Yeah.
I think it was Pat Patterson who told Vince, this isn't working, or people hate this, and it was like, oh, we'll just shove it down their throats until they like it, and it worked. I
And
mean, something.
I mean, yeah, to be honest, who would believe that even a jacked up guy like the Warrior would beat Andre the Giant? Who would
And
believe that?
Andre put him over, to his credit, every night.
Right.
He didn't
Yeah,
have
punched
to. I'm
him
sure
the
he
one
didn't.
time he came running to him. He punched him,
yeah.
and he's like, he's learning.
Yeah, he didn't have to put him over, but he's Andre. He's like, no, boss, doesn't work for me, and that's it. And he didn't
Yeah.
have to put him over, but he did, to his credit. So,
But
yeah,
Andre, the thing is, I didn't like when Hogan. Apparently, Hogan lied about Andre and said, "Oh, well, people were pointing and saying rude things about Andre." I'm like, I don't think they were making. Jim Cornette says this. They weren't making rude comments. They were probably just pointing, going, "Look at that tall guy."
look at him. Look how huge this guy is. You know,
Yeah, I mean, you
that's what
wouldn't.
they were doing.
Yeah. So they
And
weren't really saying mean things to him. I'm
nobody,
sure if there were people out there going, "I could take Andre the Giant," some jacked up stupid
Yeah.
guy who thought he
Andre,
could.
Andre would drink cases of wine, not cases
Cases.
every night,
Wow.
And he'd be tipsy.
yeah, he'd just be
Right.
tipsy. He wouldn't be hammered. He would just be
He
tipsy.
would not be
like,
hammered.
Wow.
He drank cases of wine, and there was a story where some college kids were messing with him, and
Right, this was
throwing.
in I wanna say it might have been in France. It was somewhere, but they were college
No,
kids.
yeah, Flair was with him because Flair claimed he was with him. At least I'm not sure how true that is.
I don't think Flair was with him.
But Flair says he was there. I don't know.
Okay.
But
I do remember the story. The story is that college kids were making fun of him, and he got angry. They ran out into their car, and Andre
he
picked the
flipped
car
the
up.
car.
Yeah.
He picked the
I
car
heard
up
that.
and
He
flipped
flipped the
him.
car, and
I'm
then
like,
the
how
cop.
dumb and inebriated do you have to be
Yeah.
to mess with Andre the Giant?
Why would you mess? And then the cops came, and Andre told them, "Oh, they were messing with me," and they
Yeah.
arrested the kids.
They arrested the kids.
They didn't
That's right.
arrest
They
Andre.
arrested
yeah.
those kids.
It's like,
And
oh,
rightfully
okay, they're
so. You
messing
don't mess
with
with
you.
Andre the
Yeah,
Giant.
sure. Okay, let's arrest them. But he flipped our car. It's like, there's no way he flipped that car. They didn't really believe it, even though Andre was huge. But it's like nobody can flip a 5,000-pound car. But he did. According to everybody who saw that, he did. But the cops
Yeah.
didn't believe it, so they arrested him. arrested the kids.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
yeah, so
that's
that's
crazy. I
the
see the little brother Greg. He's not gonna join us today. I see the
Yeah,
comment.
I did see that too. It's okay. You're
Yeah,
here in
Greg.
spirit, Greg. You're
Well,
here
we
in
here,
spirit.
baby. We
oh,
here. So, and so I'm just curious.
oh,
What?
okay. I missed that in the chat, but okay, sounds good.
Yeah, it's
You
all good,
here?
brother. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But at least he's there. But I'm just curious. Let's say, if Cody did beat Paul, what would be the reason for that?
What?
And become like a US and
Right,
heavyweight
right,
They're
champion.
right,
going if they put both belts on Cody, there's no
It could be like the
need.
Warrior thing,
Yeah,
the Warrior
there's
and
no.
Hogan thing.
Yeah, but a bit eventually. But as your mama fat says in the chat, the Cody has to pin Logan because Roman did. Yeah, I mean a couple of years ago, Roman did beat Logan Paul in Saudi Arabia, coincidentally. So
Mm.
and yeah, as the argument, the reason why, because as you know, I was gonna bring this up, but luckily your mama fat did. Cody does need a U.S. title to get the Grand Slam, and I could see him winning U.S. title, then vacating on the SmackDown, then AJ Styles win the Battle Royal for the title.
Again,
That's very similar to what the Warrior did. He vacated
yeah,
the
it
Intercontinental
Right.
is very
title.
very similar to what the Warrior did. They could be following in that footsteps, though. No offense, I don't think they could draw that with. They may be able to, but I don't think they'll come close to what they drawed at WrestleMania 6. It would be I mean, you would have to get Logan Paul to like a major heel. Like he's doing great things as a heel. Don't get me wrong. But
Yeah,
I just don't see them, making as much money as they did with WrestleMania 6. That was like
they put
it was a baby face versus baby face, and Logan Paul's not a baby face,
yeah, which is
for
why
one.
that's what Cody said on SmackDown. I need the U.S. title to become a Grand Slam champion. So it
Okay.
seems like they're going to put both belts on Cody in order to give him that Grand Slam champion thing.
It could
But
be.
but I think they're gonna smash. He doesn't need it, and they're gonna just smash him over like that. I mean, the fans could start resenting Cody pretty quickly if
Hmm.
he just
Yeah,
start beating everybody.
Well,
yeah.
and that's the
That's what
thing
I'm
that they
thinking.
were talking about. Maybe like Cody is a heel or he's acting heelish.
Yeah.
Mm.
Bubba, in fact, Bubba Ray Dudley said this on Busted Open Radio that he thinks Cody's ultimate character arc is being a heel,
Yeah.
and he's gonna turn at some point, or at least he should turn at some point, because he's already kind of acting heelish, and like he said at one point, if you come for the king, you best not miss. So it's kind of a heelish thing to say since he's the WWE champion. He's calling
Kind
himself
of
the
like
king.
saying if you hit me, you better make sure I go down, because
Yeah.
otherwise you're gonna get it.
hmm So that's kind of a heelish thing to say. I mean, you come at the king, like he's already acting kind of like arrogant, even though he just won the WWE championship, but he's already acting like he's like that arrogant heel champion, like kind of Roman Reigns would act.
Right, right. We don't need that now. Not yet. Not yet.
No,
Kid.
no, and
And I'm
again,
not saying to turn him
we
right
had
now, but
yeah, we just
yeah,
saw some rumors that were on X. I saw
Mm.
some rumors that were on X, and they were kind of saying, um, it could. I mean, he's acting like a heel, so he could go
Mm.
that way. So I
Gotcha.
mean, it wasn't anything significant. They just were kind of like, well, it could happen this way, it could happen that way. So
I
yeah.
mean, I mean, and my thing is this: the only
Mhm.
person I could think of if they went on that route would be to maybe elevate LA Knight, because I think he's like the most over baby face.
LA Knight, his
possible.
yeah, I mean. LA Knight needs to be a world champion before the year's up. Either winning the world heavyweight champion or
Right.
winning. I don't think he'll be Cody because Cody's
No, right, right.
their golden boy right now. But
Yeah.
he can definitely be world champion over on Raw. But he would have to move to Raw
Who
because right
is
now he's
who?
on SmackDown. I think.
Who's Raw now? Who's the Raw champion now?
Damian Priest.
Damian
Damien.
Priest. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, do they
Yeah.
want to?
I said the
Uh,
same thing. I said the
well,
same thing too.
because it could go both ways. They could keep
Uh-huh.
Damian Priest as a heel, yes.
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 So a
Yes.
Right
great
now.
feud, yes. Right now, a greatest
And
feud would be right
quote
now with
unquote.
right, quote unquote, the greatest feud right now would be Damian Priest and LA Knight if they want to keep LA
Mhm.
Knight a babyface.
I would agree.
And then you have so you also have Drew McIntyre in that.
Yeah,
But I think Drew wants to finish the stuff with
yeah,
CM Punk that
he's
he didn't get
busy.
to
He's
finish
busy
yet.
with Punk right now. Yeah, I think he's going for the world title right now. He
Yeah,
will
so maybe
eventually,
after
but
he's done with Punk and they kind of
Yeah.
tell that story. Because
yeah,
again, Punk kind of went to AEW and then had the thing with them, and then now he gets to come back and kind of finish his story with Drew McIntyre.
yeah, he has to finish.
Yeah,
They have
yeah.
to finish that story. But what was I going to say? CM. Yeah, I mean, Damian Priest is the world champion. He's the one that's most likely going to drop the title before Cody is.
Right.
Your mama's fat said Drew is taking the belt at Clash of the Castle in Scotland. Maybe they'll give it again. I don't know. When is that? June? That's next month, right?
I have no
That's
idea.
next month's pay-per-view.
I don't know
But,
any of these pay-per-views names anymore.
Yeah.
They
going
changed
all
so
over the
much. I mean, WWE sort of followed a schedule where January was Royal Rumble, February was whatever they made it. So in
yeah.
99 it was or in 1998 I think it was DX in your house or DX.
Yeah.
And then it was kind of like poking fun of the NWO, the WCW NWO.
Yeah, I remember.
That pay-per-view.
Yeah.
In 99 it was St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
Yeah.
But then in March they would have something like late March. They'd have some kind of pay-per-view, but then you would have April usually was WrestleMania.
Okay, I remember what I was gonna say. Yeah, I mean, Drew can win the world title at Clash and then defend it against Punk at SummerSlam whenever he's scheduled to come back. So that could be what they're going for. That Damian's gonna drop it to Drew, and then
But still have
go
a
with
feud
Punk.
with LA
Yeah.
Knight.
Right.
Yeah, and eventually working
Kind of like
Punk.
Austin and Undertaker throughout 1998. They were kind of back and forth,
Yeah.
between the Austin McMahon thing. Then there was also Austin and Rock. So, I mean, that was a part of the corporation
Yeah, they're
in 99.
Triple H can go so many ways with this. I mean, what
Yeah.
I would do, I mean, if I put myself on the spot here, which I just did, I mean, what I would do
You're on the
is,
spot.
yeah, I just put myself there because I
We're all on the
haven't really
spot.
thought of much.
That's it.
But what I would do is Damian needs to keep the belt at least until SummerSlam, and then he'll get beat by the Money in the Bank winner, because remember Money in the Bank's in July, I believe it is now.
Is it now?
Yeah, so whoever wins Money in the Bank is probably cashing in on Damian becoming champion. Either it would be either I don't know who would win Money in the Bank. I mean, if I had to name anybody, it would be LA Knight. So they elevated him into that world title picture. And he doesn't have to cash in immediately. You could cash in like Damian.
It has till the next Money in the Bank, right?
Yeah, the problem is we forgot about Damian Priest being Money in the Bank. I forgot, at least. I don't know about you guys, but I forgot. He's Money in the Bank for a few months there. He did
That's how he
nothing
got
with
the
it.
belt, right? He sort of
Yeah,
won
he
it at
cashed in.
WrestleMania because he cashed in.
Yeah.
And that's the funny thing. That's what we was talking about. It's like when he's gonna cash it in, and WrestleMania, that was a curveball for sure.
So that was a Seth Rollins moment, if you remember, from
right.
2016 when he cashed in on is Roman and Brock already in the ring.
Yep.
And he pinned Roman. So Brock dropped the belt without eating the fall. So it was like,
well, they could do like a double main event. They could do Drew. It depends on how long they want to drag out this CM Punk and Drew McIntyre feud. So again, just because he has, and they could throw CM Punk into that mix too. So CM Punk and Drew McIntyre can take the belts back and forth. And then LA Knight, and then Damian Priest gets it back. So you have 4 guys. You can travel the belt around and still have good feuds and main events.
And I'll throw this one out there. We're not gonna forget what's his name? Solo. I think Solo Sikoa. I mean,
yeah,
whatever his name is.
He's kind of the leader.
I'm right.
Or
I
at
mean, he
least
needs
he's the
a
leader
belt,
of the
right? He
bloodline.
needs something. He needs like a little gold thing on,
Just give him the $1 million belt.
Giving him a championship would give him some sort of credibility.
Oh,
It wouldn't be. Oh, excuse me. It wouldn't be one of the world titles, but it would. maybe the U.S. or give him something to give him some credibility, because Solo, before he started the Bloodline, he lost. Like he lost like 30 matches or 40 matches in a row on television, and then all
I
of a
wanted,
sudden he's supposed to be credible as
Yeah,
a leader.
right.
so I wanted to show this to you really quick, guys. I
Yeah.
just got this over the weekend. They are playing cards, and look who the Jack of Clubs
Ooh,
is.
let's go. I wish I had a bubble gum.
You see that? Yeah.
Cool.
And then look who the Jack of
All right.
Hearts is.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll show
Wow.
you the King of Hearts. The King of Hearts. You're gonna laugh with the King of Hearts because it's so hilariously funny.
Yeah, I remember those
Ace of
wrestling
Spades is the Macho Man.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's the macho.
Four of Hearts is the $1 Million Man.
Whoa.
Yeah, we
It's the
got
$1
some
Million
great people in
Man.
here.
Everybody got a prize.
Yeah.
Everybody, and he was so true. Look at our politics. So the
Uh-huh.
two of clubs is Dusty.
Oh my goodness.
American Dream.
Yep.
Guys.
Andre the Giant is 8 of Diamonds.
Oh yeah, I mean you have to.
Harley Race is the 2 of Hearts. Harley
Uh,
Race.
uh,
I just wanted to show you this last one because it's for. They do have Shawn Michaels, I think.
Don't. I could have sworn that. Didn't they do like wrestling?
King of
cards back
Hearts
then?
is Stone Cold. So Stone
Oh,
Cold
wow.
said so. Stone
Give me
Cold
a
is the King
hell
of Hearts.
yeah! Let's go.
King of Spades is Shawn Michaels.
Now let's go. Shawn Michaels. Woo.
And the Ace of Hearts is Bret Hart.
Oh,
He
and
is
the
the
best
Ace
there
of
is, the
Hearts.
best there was,
and the best
there
ever will be.
I knew you guys would like that. Yeah, I got this over
Yeah.
the weekend.
No,
I actually asked someone, I was like, hey, do they have Mr. Perfect? And they're like, yeah, because I saw Ric Flair and Andre, and I was like, I don't really want Flair. But when I asked the question, I was like, is Mr. Perfect in this deck? And they're like, yeah, he's the Jack of Clubs. I'm like, yes, I'm getting it. It was only $9. $9 to buy Mr. Perfect right there.
Wow.
That's
You
nice.
could play
That's a nice
Slapjack, and you'd have to slap this one because he's a Jack.
Kapow.
Him and Rick Rude.
I don't think I remember eating. What is it? Remember the ice creams?
Oh yeah, the
Western
ice cream bars.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Wow, I don't remember eating Mr. Perfect, but
CM Punk back in his original WWE run wanted to bring back those like, where are my ice cream bars? The WWE
they
ice cream
should.
bars.
I love them. They were
And
pricey though.
Vince had to look at it like, I don't do that, It's like,
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, Vince hated Punk anyways. He pushed him because he was a draw, but it was like, fuck him, or mess him,
Unbelievable.
whatever. But yeah, I mean, all right. So I wanted to bring up AEW, and D hasn't been with us the last few
God.
weeks. So I want.
We
what
have
do you
to.
What did you think about the What do you think about what's going on with the angle with the Elite?
Lowest ratings they've ever had. That's what I can say. What kind of frame is back there? Back in his back or my back?
This is a tiger. It's just some random tiger.
I was gonna say mine is Kurt Hennig.
Yeah, that's
mine
what.
is Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect.
Yeah.
Right there.
Mine's just a lot of stuff going on here.
Oh, and that's fine.
Oh,
yeah,
you're into art. Yeah, this is my artwork.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a random.
This is
tiger
perfection,
painting.
baby. This is perfection, baby.
Woo!
Look at all
Let's
this.
go.
Perfection right there.
Perfect. Yeah, I wish I had a bubble gum. I'm just like,
Yeah, I wanted to get these thoughts on what's going on in AEW with their big angle, that they've been shooting. They shot a couple weeks ago.
I've been missing on AEW.
Again,
to
lowest
be honest.
ratings.
Yeah.
Honestly, and Brian Last and Jim Cornette talked about this, where they literally had that little ski guy going down. Hey, bad cookies, be quiet.
Uh-huh.
No, that's Kurt. No, Charlie Kirk, I think, is
Yeah, that's
turning
Charlie
point.
Kirk.
I will beat you. Don't even talk to me. Bad
Charlie
cookies,
Kirk.
go away.
Welcome back,
Shame.
Cookies. Thank you for joining us.
Give us a like, please, Cookie.
Yeah, give us a like. Mhm.
Anyway, again, about the little ski thing with the ratings, and they had the little Tony Khan skiing. Brian Last and Jim Cornette were making fun of that. So
Yes,
lowest ratings when the Bucks come on. So
yeah, but But yeah, I mean, the angle basically was they shot an angle a few weeks ago where the Bucks and Jack Perry came back and
I
beat
peeped
up
that.
Tony Khan,
Ooh.
and Tony Khan took the worst bump of all time. He got hit in the gut
Uh,
and like took a back
all
flat bump. I'm like,
time.
what are you doing? And then he's like, oh yeah, I gotta sell my abdomen. I was like, and then the Young Bucks, and then the
Got
Young
carried
Bucks,
out.
Right.
and then the
Yeah.
Young Bucks they gave him a Meltzer driver for no and
What?
he had the neck brace during the NFL draft.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
are the
Oh my
Lollipop
god.
Guild. You know.
Yeah, and
And I think he bought they were talking in the NFL. It was Rich Eisen. He was like, "Oh,
yeah,
look at him with the draft."
They were
and
making fun
everything."
of
they were
him.
making
They're
fun of
making
him.
fun of him.
Right.
But
Well,
initially,
Matt McAfee.
Initially, I thought it was like, yeah, I shouldn't wear the neck brace because it keeps with the angle. Once I saw
Right.
it and I saw how silly he looked and how the NFL guys making fun of him, I'm like, oh, this is such
I
a
mean,
horrible
and
idea.
my thing is this: I think he
You just
paid
want to
for
go.
the spot.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he paid for the spot. I think he did something for the St. Jude kids or something to that effect.
St. Jude.
What? What? St. Jude?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean,
St. Jude. Oh, what?
St. Jude's kids or
Jude,
whatever the
yeah,
case. Right.
the children's hospital.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Oh
think he paid for
my.
the spot. That's for sure. I'm like, oh my god, he paid for the spot. I'm like, okay. Rich Eisen like, yeah, AEW. I'm like, he don't even know what the hell is AEW.
Yeah,
No.
he didn't even know what it was, but he still
Right.
made fun of it because he made fun of Tony Khan.
He's like,
No.
what's that?
He's a laughing stock of football right now, and they all think
Yeah,
it's funny.
they were all laughing at him. I'm like, oh no, he shouldn't have done it because I thought he would look more professional. Like he would
It's
have
literally
No.
like how
like he
Jeff
would-
Dunham said with Peanut.
Yeah.
He's like, ah.
Yeah.
he would have like the actual neck brace. And,
Right,
you know,
right.
he would look. Instead, he managed to get the Andy Kaufman neck brace. Just, you know,
Yeah,
and
the
like,
big
come
one.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
except that he didn't do it the Andy Kaufman way.
No.
No, he screwed it up. So,
Totally screwed it up. By the way, cookies, this is for anyone who joined us late. This hat is for reaching 40,000 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you everybody who subscribed to my channel. And this is
All
what the
those-
fans voted for. So this is what's going on.
all those links in the description box below, including Witchy's other show, Black Magic Talk, I think it's called. Those links are also down there.
Black Magic Talk, and then my Kurt Hennig was the best Change My
Mhm.
Mind podcast.
All those links are
Thank
in the
you,
description.
BX. Yes, I am on fire, baby. Oops.
Yo,
I
Richard,
don't wanna lose
we
my hat,
and you got
though.
we gotta talk about that
On
black
fire.
magic. You know, from a Christian to a weekend, whatever. We gotta talk there. We're gonna have a good conversation. Let's go.
Well, we're gonna have Chris something on. He's an author and a pagan. He's from the UK, so look for that. That probably come out with Tuesday.
Okay. That's
And I
interesting.
think this upcoming episode is, if it's not this episode, it's the next episode. It's Brett and Kurt at King of the Ring, 93.
Okay.
So
Nice.
look out for that.
Yeah, so that was, and then this past week, what happened this past week? Oh yeah,
On
Kenny
AEW?
Omega. Yeah, Kenny
Yes.
Omega came back and they beat him up, even though he has diverticulitis allegedly. So they beat him up and they gave him some move. Oh yeah, the stupid knee lift. The Young Bucks, you know, giving those.
Hey, Angel, what's diverticulitis?
It's
Yeah,
a
good
condition.
question.
It's a condition of the I think the small intestine where they get infected, and Brock Lesnar had it too. Yeah, it's a horrible disorder. You know, I mean, it could kill you. You know, if you don't get it. You know, if you don't get
Yeah,
checked.
it's an infection. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it's
you get
an
in your
infection,
intestines.
this-
Yeah.
yeah.
And apparently
Okay.
he loves to tell people on Twitch about how close he was to deleting. I'm
Mhm.
like, too bad it didn't go all the way. I'm sorry. I don't
Yo,
like Kenny
chill,
Omega. I don't
chill.
like Kenny Omega.
Pause. No, that stop, yo. No, I mean,
Kenny Omega.
I'm like when
Sorry,
he said
Greg, but no.
diverticulitis, whatever the case might be.
Yeah.
Like, wait, he can't dive, he can't jump. What?
Yeah,
can't
but
do
he can take bumps, you know, and get beat
Right.
up. But somehow he made an announcement. Oh yeah, this is what happened. He made the announcement in a hospital bed because he's back in the hospital allegedly.
Allegedly.
He's like, oh yeah, I'm an EVP too, so I'm gonna set up this match at the Double or Nothing pay-per-view.
Hey, he
They
could have
call
told
it-
the truth about anything. I still and Greg is like, oh, Kenny Omega. I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Down with
set up
Kenny
a
Omega.
He set up a match for Double or Nothing at the Elite versus a Team AEW, which is
Which
which
is
is
his way of saying I suck. Okay.
yeah, which is the Team AEW is FTR who lose every match. I don't know
Who
why they
loses
have any
every match.
credibility.
That's what Brian
Uh,
Last and Jim
Yeah, I
Cornette
peeped
were
it.
talking about.
Yep, I peeped
and
that.
and
big joke.
Eddie Kingston for no reason added there, and Bryan Danielson who's
Eddie.
coming back from injury. I'm like, no, it's no disqualification. It's Bryan Danielson. Another concussion.
Lazy booking.
It's another concussion. Like
Yes.
waiting for him, and because the Elite are going to take care of him, they're morons. So they're going to hurt him somehow during that match.
As you said, Angel, and they need to save him from himself.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry,
That's
Brian
what-
Danielson, but you need to be saved from
Yes,
yourself.
that's when Vince forced him to retire. To his credit, because he had all these concussions, and he saved him from himself. And it's like the only reason why he allowed him to wrestle again because he was threatening to go to Japan and leave WWE. And he was still a draw. So okay, yeah, you can wrestle.
Right.
But other than that, I mean, so
But you don't even make money in Japan anymore. I mean, Brian Last and them were talking about this.
No.
I mean, it's not like you go to Japan like you used to in the 80s and 90s and could make something in Japan.
Yeah.
No, not anymore. Yep.
No. New Japan is as cold as it's ever been. Tony Khan destroyed New
cold
Japan.
as ice.
It's cold as ice. Tony Khan destroyed New Japan. And
willing to sacrifice our love.
the New Japan World Champion is John Moxley. I mean, he's like,
oh gosh. Does he ever not kiss men? Can I ask this question? Does he ever kiss a woman? Has anyone seen him kiss a woman?
Well, he's married to Renee.
That
one of
doesn't
their
mean he's
interviewers.
kissed her. Has anyone seen him actually kiss a woman?
Maybe.
I want to know right now in the chat. Have y'all seen him kiss a woman? Yes or no?
I mean,
I mean, seriously, he kisses men every damn day.
I mean, unless John Moxley came out of nowhere and said, "I'm Italiano," man.
The match wasn't
right.
It,
I don't
it
know.
just
Don't kiss men.
and then
married to a woman.
Man.
the end but I personally call the Elite the Make-A-Wish version of the NWL because they're so small.
Make-A-Wish. A good yep.
Angel.
Because they're so small.
That's right. Kevin Nash, Scott Hall were both over 6 feet. Kurt was 6'3".
Yeah.
Right.
The Hall is 6'7", 280. Nash was 7'3" something. And Hogan was 6'7", 320 or something.
I think even Buff Bagwell was 6 foot at least.
I mean, and he was buff.
Yeah, and he was huge.
Buff the stuff.
Because Jack Perry is like 160 pounds. I'm bigger than Jack Perry.
No. That's 100. That's 160, but 40 in his hair. Because what's going on, hey Jack?
Yeah, so he's 160 pounds.
I would love to see a match with you and Jack Perry because you would beat his.
Yeah.
Just.
I vote for Angel.
The Bucks. What are Bucks? 180. I'm bigger than them too.
Yeah, and then that's combined.
Yeah, and not Omega.
I'm
what's
a
the other
woman
guy?
who never spent a day in wrestling school, but I could probably beat the Bucks.
Yeah, the Japanese
challenge
Cody.
you, Bucks.
The Japanese Cody is bigger. He's normal size for a wrestler. What's his name?
Angel,
Okada.
You're on fire.
Okada.
Yo, Angel, you're on fire. Japanese. I just caught on the Japanese Cody. Wow.
Wait.
Yeah, he calls him Cody.
Yes, Cody.
Yeah, Jim Cornette initially called him Japanese Cody, and then he said
Japanese Cody. Now he calls him
wow.
Cody.
Cody. Yeah,
Yeah.
Cody. Okasha, right?
Yeah, it's like
Okada or something. Okada.
Yes, Okada. Yeah, and but he's normal looking, he has some size. I mean, he's like this, but he's above the rest of them. He's a big guy. He's a normal looking wrestler.
But he looks
normal.
I think
he looks like he's a wrestler compared to these AEW guys.
Yeah,
I mean, they all look like shrimps.
Yeah, Brian Last.
You don't know whether to put sauce on them or to take them seriously.
Brian Last on the initial commentary called him Lurch because he so taller over than all of them. He towered over them like he was Lurch. Like he's Lurch, it's ridiculous. It's
Does he come out and go, "You rang"?
Yeah, it's like, come on. The Make a Wish NWO thing, they're gonna beat Team let's say Team
Easy for
NWO.
you to say.
They're gonna beat Team AEW at that pay per view. There's no way that the Bucks are doing a job. I mean, they're not. They think they're massive superstars and they're Hogan or something in
Yeah, right,
'86.
right.
But
There's
they're
no way
trying
that
to
they do a
recreate the
job.
whole WCW versus NWO.
That's exactly what
Yes.
they're trying to do. The Make a
It's
Wish
been done.
NWO. Yeah.
Eh,
It's been done. And with better guys who knew what the heck
eh,
they were doing
right.
and looked like wrestlers.
Greg actually said, "Oh, at least they're trying something and it's interesting and I can watch it." Like, yeah, but it's still
Greg.
bad.
Eh,
Greg.
Yeah,
Greg.
Greg, he
Come
would
here.
hey,
Oh.
it's not good.
Greg is giving us the AEW,
Greg,
I
flow.
love you,
I'm
brother,
just
but
saying.
no.
I'm
No.
just saying.
and it's not good. Again, because I have the ratings because Greg, shared
They
it
kind of went like
earlier.
this again.
So yeah, Greg, the
Yeah,
world
thank you,
champion,
Greg. If you're
the
still in
world,
the thing.
yeah, the world champion is the only draw they got, and he's not even
That's
the A
true. That's
storyline.
true. Yes.
He's not
And
even the
they're
A storyline.
but Swerve's Swerve is the only thing they got. Edge
Yeah,
makes the ratings go down. People are sick of Adam Copeland. They are
Adam
sick of him.
And
Yeah,
then and then Copeland's face is always the same, like like yeah, right. I'm like, yo, relax.
Are you
Adam.
coming or are you
Adam-
wrestling? Which is it? Are you coming or you wrestling?
Adam. The thing with Edge, I keep calling him Edge because that's how I knew him for 20
His name
plus
is
years.
Adam
Copeland down in AEW, which is his legal name, but
I hate
Right.
Chris Jericho. God
Yeah.
damn it.
So they started at
No,
768,000.
he's not serious. Sorry.
Wait a minute, yo, tell me.
He's not serious. Chris Jericho sucks. Chris Jericho sucks.
So
and Mr. Perfect
no.
faced him one
Hold
time,
on.
and that's it. I'm sorry.
No,
Hold
no.
on. So we got this. I mean, I don't know who's this Mace, but he's saying that Edge is one of the best of what? I mean,
Maybe in WWE.
Edge is one of the best. I mean,
of
Question
what?
I don't know. I assume he means best wrestlers, but I could be wrong on that.
Damn.
So they started out at 768,000. I remember
Right.
when they would start out at 900,000. This is not a while ago, like a while ago. Like in very recent history. Now they're at 768 to start the show. So
I
it's an
never thought
Adam
Jericho was
Copeland
funny.
backstage promo, Orange Cassidy versus Trent Beretta. So that was they opened the show with, which is
And it went.
Hell's no.
which is a horrible way to. It's a terrible way to open the show. I mean, and then it went down in the next quarter hour to 696,000. So they lost.
Yeah.
They lost nearly
almost-
100,000 people.
Yeah.
Cassidy versus Beretta continue. Post match with Don Callis, Chris Statlander, the Elite Angle, Jack Perry promo, ad break, Kenny Omega promo, Serena Deeb ramp promo. So that went down 100,000.
Yeah.
And it went back up, to be fair, the next segment.
To
the
be
next
fair,
quarter
like I
hour.
said, it went like
mean,
this,
Yeah.
and then
Mhm.
went. It just kind of skewed off.
It went up a little bit. So it was
People were like, "Screw
it
this."
was the deep Tony Storm ramp angle. Mariah Carey.
Mariah Carey.
Mariah May.
I didn't know
Mariah
she
May.
Wait a minute.
Mariah May
Yeah,
versus
boy.
Harley Cameron through picture
I
ads.
see
So they
that
went up slightly.
Christmas song.
All I want for Christmas
Yes,
is
right.
my Jericho.
Again,
Oh,
it
it's
went up.
Adam
It went
Copeland.
it went down slightly again.
Again,
724,000.
they are done with Copeland.
The finish of the May Cameron match, post match with Saraya, Mina Shawarika packed Bullet Club gold backstage angle,
Wow.
Malachi Black video, ad break,
Malachi
recap,
Black.
so Swerve Strickland live promo. So it went down slightly.
I heard he might be going back to WWE. Black.
Malachi Black. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, because he's being used horribly right now in AEW. Has been
Yeah,
for
that's
years.
what they were trying to. That's what Jim Cornette was trying to say. Like, we're not criticizing him for being, a different
Yeah, he needs
person.
to go back.
But we are trying to encourage them for good storytelling. So Swerve is the champion, then prove it. Show us that he's champion. Give him good storylines and good people to wrestle.
He's not
Right.
even in the main angle of AEW, which is
I
that
know.
elite,
I
the
know.
elite the wannabe NWO
The
there.
champion was always the main event. He was
Yeah.
always the main event.
Right.
That's why he's a transitional champion. He's a he's holding the title for Osprey. Obviously, I mean he just they'll switch it at All in London. Osprey will be the long term champion, and
When
Swerve will
is
just
that,
go
Angel?
right back down the card.
When is that? That's gonna happen like next month.
No, in August.
Oh,
Mm.
Yeah,
SummerSlam.
yeah, All in London is in August, and I think it's the week before the Germany show WWE's doing on my birthday, August 31st.
Let's go. Oh, we gotta do a birthday thing for you, bro.
Definitely.
Yeah,
It's my niece turns 18 August 30th.
oh wow. So yeah, we'll definitely look at that. But actually, it went up from 724 to 787 for the Strickland Kristen Cage live promo. Angle with the Mogul Embassy, Willow Nightingale backstage promo, Jay White versus Rocky Romero versus Jay White through picture-in-picture ads. So again, this is what
I
Greg was
mean,
saying that that Strickland is their biggest draw, and they're not using him.
Right.
Wow.
Okay, I'll give it to them that they at least got some back. Okay, that's probably the highest they ever had. But
The
come on, guys.
Oh, thank you, Bad Cookies. Even though it's in a few months, but yeah, I
find
mean,
you a stripper. What?
I'll find you a stripper that looks like Crystal Ball for you.
Ew!
Wow. Wow.
Oh my, Angel! I think you better run. Because if she's that ugly, you don't get no action. You get no action.
So if you don't know what Mogul Embassy is, this is Swerve's heel stable. Because Swerve was a heel initially, and the fans turned him babyface. So they turned on him finally. They beat him up, and so now that apparently they joined Christian's group. I don't know what's going on there, but because he's feuding with Christian Cage right now. So yeah, so after that quarter hour, it goes back down to 718. So they lose a ton of audience. Romero versus White continue post match with the Gun Club, Pac, Samoa Joe video, ad break, Harlan Abbott and Mo Jabari versus Big Bill and Chris Jericho. I'm about to say Jabroni. That's why I stopped myself there.
Now we got The Rock. Okay.
Yo, Jabroni. No, not The Rock. I would say the other gentleman I used to say Jabroni. Iron Sheik. Yes.
Yeah, he used to say Jabroni before The Rock picked it up. But yeah, I mean it's.
But
Harlan,
so here we go with Chris Jericho, and the next one they lose again. They lose another 100,000, I guess. Or
we're having an audio issue. Who, Baze? Is it me or I think it may be me? I'm getting too close to the microphone again.
Am I too close?
No Diddy on that one.
I'm assuming it's me, and I apologize. I get too close like this sometimes, and it's.
Am I okay? Can everybody hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's me. I'm assuming it's me. So. All right,
but like I said, here we go with the Chris Jericho, and Chris Jericho is past it. He's a fat Pizza the Hut. If Pizza the Hut was here, he would agree with me. He's a fat Pizza the Hut. Jericho, get the frick off TV.
He's in his early 50s.
You are fat.
He's the FTW champion. He beat Hook for that, which is actually Taz's belt. I don't know why. So he beat Hook at the pay-per-view, and the fans hated it. It's like, please retire and get out of get out of here.
They were chanting it.
They were brutal to Jericho in that match. They were brutal to Jericho, and he's still sticking around because he's just ripping off Tony Khan of millions of dollars.
That's what they think. Chris Jericho, but they were talking about Chris Jericho. They're like, get out. What?
Yeah, it was Jericho.
Like,
please retire and get out at the last pay-per-view.
Wow.
So
good. Jericho deserves it. Yeah, I know. I hate that dude.
Yeah, I mean,
I really don't like that.
And he's doing this horrible learning tree thing, where he wants the younger guys to be under his learning tree and learn from him. Mm-hmm. He's doing this horrible stable now. Big Bill is the first member. There's going to be others, I'm sure. That join his little stable. So that was a terrible match. I saw that match. I was flipping back and forth between the Knicks game and this. So I watched mostly the Knicks game. So
let's go.
That's brutal. That's pretty brutal. If you're switching between a basketball game and WWE,
AEW,
AEW,
AEW.
sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, we
So-
be in New York over here. We basking in glory, baby.
Mm.
Go.
So now the next quarter hour goes down to 6:65. This is where it gets brutal. Abbott and Jabbar versus Bill and Jericho continue. Jericho live promo ad break. Adam Copeland versus Brody King through picture-in-picture ads. Again, the Adam Copeland thing. That match was no disqualification, of course, because
Lazy booking.
Adam
Yes.
apparently
Big
called.
time.
He called Tony Khan, and Tony Khan, of course, approved the no disqualification match. So that's how they do things now. He just called the boss. Hey, can I get no disqualification match? Oh yeah, of course. You can do whatever you want. It's like, okay, good. Like, come on, man. I mean, that should have. It's absurd.
Come on, man.
By the way,
Come
that
on,
match
Jack.
that match
Come on,
sucked.
Jack.
By the way, that match sucked. I mean, Adam Copeland is breathing so
People are
heavy
tired of Adam Copeland. He needs to go away. How can we miss you if you don't go away? Sorry, guys.
Edge was sucking wind so much that it was crazy. I mean, I'm
Sucking
surprised
wind.
that
He's what, 50?
yeah, in his early 50s. And
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
he's sucking wind
This
there
is
like
up there.
5 minutes through the match.
And he always got that face like it
Like,
reminds me-
I'm like,
yeah, right.
Yeah,
What was this guy? What's the name of that actor? Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage always got that same face, like okay.
That's what I said. Just retire, Adam.
Right.
I mean, it's like at least Adam is in shape. I mean, Chris Jericho looks like Piece of the Hut.
At least he's in shape. But
right.
yeah, he's just Edge just wants to play with. He initially signed AEW to work with his friend Christian. He wants to play with his friend, and he had that feud, and it wasn't good. It didn't do anything. Now he's a TNT champion, and I don't know what the ultimate goal is. Is he gonna put over a young guy, or is he just gonna? What are you gonna do with that belt? I don't know what the goal is ultimately.
I don't know, man.
Am I serious? Yes, I'm dead serious.
Man, I guess this gentleman, whoever BX is a big Edge fan, but Adam Copeland is different than Edge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Edge was at least over. Adam Copeland, people want him to go away. Look at the ratings. You don't even have to believe us. Look at the ratings.
Went down again.
They went down again.
The next segment, it went to 665 to 628, which is the Adam Copeland Brody King continue through picture-in-picture ad. And post-match with Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly is apparently the next challenger for Edge's TNT title. Kyle O'Reilly is just the plainest looking dude on the planet. He was in when he was in WWE. Yeah, when he was
on the road.
That's Gargano, Johnny Sameface.
Oh, Johnny Sameface.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, he's just the plainest looking dude on the planet. When he was in WWE, he was part of the Undisputed Era with Adam Cole and
right.
And Kyle O'Reilly, the other one, I'm forgetting.
It was one of those white dudes.
Yeah, it was Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly.
Well, that narrows it down.
Who's the international champion? It's him, the international champion. Roderick Strong. It was Roderick Strong and somebody else.
Watch it, D. You made trend because of that.
And it was somebody else. I can't remember his name right now, but that's what Kyle O'Reilly was famous for. And he hurt his neck. And he hurt his neck again, and he was out for over a year. And now he's facing Edge for the TNT title. Honestly, I don't care because O'Reilly's promos are not good. I mean, he's just a plain wrestler, that knows how to work. He's a work rate wrestler, which I don't care really about those guys.
Right.
And then the last segment, the overrun, which is why I went up to 654 because people are tuning in to watch something else and they see this
like probably
instead.
a movie or something.
Yeah.
Right.
So it went back up to 654. It was an 8-minute overrun. So you get Mercedes Moné live promo. Oh no, she's a terrible promo. I mean, these people must be like, what the hell is this? The Elite Jack Perry live promo, Angle with FTR, Eddie Kingston, and Bryan Danielson, which is what I discussed earlier. That got 654, and that ended the show. So they're setting up a big angle, a big 8-man no disqualification match at the pay-per-view.
Lazy booking.
Yes.
It's just the same old crap. It's just like it's just the same old crap, and it's just awful. The ratings are
It's a
brutally
song
low.
that never ends.
Yeah,
Sorry.
and I'm amazed how and they really this is their angle to try to save the company. Like, oh yeah, let's rip off something that happened in the
Save the
90s.
company from what? Their ratings are in the toilet. This is the best it's gonna get because it's only gonna
They're
get
trying
worse.
to increase ratings because right now Warner Brothers Discovery is this close to bankruptcy, and they
Yeah,
don't. And they're about to lose the NBA because NBC is offered $2.5 billion a year for the NBA rights again, so they want to get the NBA. So they're gonna probably get the NBA. So without the NBA, Warner Brothers Discovery stock price is like $5 a share. It's
yeah.
awful. I mean, they're the company's in horrible shape. They expanded and they merged way too much. They control what do they own? The Turner Broadcasting Networks, Discovery, Warner
The
Brothers,
HBO Max,
HBO.
whatever.
They've they've expanded to the point where it's just absurd. You know, it's like they own a lot of stuff. And Bad Cookie says Warner Brothers will be owned by Disney soon, and Disney's co-op will grow.
I
I
mean,
wouldn't be surprised if Disney
right.
actually tried to buy Warner Brothers Discovery because they have the money. I mean, they have the resources to buy Warner Brothers Discovery, and they don't want AEW. I guarantee you, they don't want all that blood and guts on their Turner
I'm so sorry.
broadcast.
My dad came in the room and started turning my light on and off as if there was a ghost in the room.
Yeah, I noticed the light going on and off. That's why I was
Yeah,
just like,
wait
It
a
was my
something weird's
minute.
going on
dad.
there.
Wait
I'm
a
like, what do you want? Text
minute.
me on the phone. Text me. Don't talk to me right now. He goes, are you okay? I'm like,
Your,
I'm fine.
your mama's fat says still sad TNT's gonna lose the NBA.
I
But
mean, it is what
yeah,
it is, y'all.
yeah,
Yep.
but when I was a kid, they used to be on NBC, and I loved that intro song. And it told me that it was a big game coming. And again, I think we're treading over the old territory. We talked about this last week. But yeah, I mean, having it back on NBC with that music would be like, whoa. I mean, it's like nostalgia for me. But yeah,
For the rock.
and AEW is I think Greg and me were saying initially that if NBA goes away, that they would have to keep AEW, but not necessarily. I mean, I think they could have more profit if they just put movies on all night in
Yeah.
TBS.
And this is
It would get higher ratings.
yeah, this was on someone asked me to clarify. They just lost their contract with YouTube where they were broadcasting some of their matches on YouTube. I said that's gone now. And then
Yeah.
once their ratings hit a certain low mark, I guess they're going to lose the TNT and TBS. Just like
Yeah.
WCW.
Yes.
If Turner, I'm about to say Turner, if WBD retains,
Yeah.
if they retain AEW, it'll probably be on a
I
smaller
don't think he
network
had
of
anything
theirs.
to do with it. Is Turner still alive?
Ted Turner, I know.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, he
so.
is.
Yeah,
He
I think
is.
he is.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
he
if
He's still
they
alive and kicking.
yeah, if Warner Brothers
He's just not
Discovery
kicking it.
retains, if
Right.
they retain AEW, probably be on a smaller network like True TV. They own True TV too, and they're trying to turn that into like a sports network. So I wouldn't be surprised if they stick AEW there. Oh, here's a modest increase, Tony, but you're going to True TV. You're not going to be on TBS anymore.
And
True
and
TV. And who watches that? What?
I mean,
It's a sport.
What
They're
channels
trying.
do they have?
They own a lot. They're trying to turn
Really?
True TV into like a sports network.
well, I mean, yeah, because Witchy, when they do the what is it, the
They have
the
hockey
basketball,
there.
right?
They
The
have
college
basketball. Some
basketball
NBA
tournament,
games
right?
are there. Yeah.
Yeah, when they have
So
the college tournament, they
yeah,
play
they put it on True TV. Like they're
True
trying
TV.
to turn True TV into like a sports network, which is where AEW probably would end up if they
Right.
retained AEW, of course. Which I'm not sure they will, but
Yeah.
Who knows?
That's
I mean,
don't
if they
know.
keep going this way, there won't be an AEW. Because no offense, these are lower ratings than I think
no,
even
it's bad.
WCW was doing as they were gone on their way out.
It's bad. I mean, people don't understand how bad it is and how
Right.
ratings matter. Even though I've had people tell me, "Oh, ratings don't matter anymore because they're on the internet and they like." But yeah, ratings still matter to the WBD executives. They're trying to sell ads for this show. They're trying to sell ads, and the ratings go down. And on top of that, especially AEW pro wrestling, it's like their version of pro wrestling is just blood and guts and like which company would it be associated with that?
Hey, which is which, right?
In fact, I remember when it was a couple of years ago when who was it that what's his name? Why am I forgetting?
Angel,
You
don't
know,
forget
what's his
Angel.
name?
Jericho.
That white
Don't
dude,
forget.
right?
Yeah, Jericho was wrestling some garbage wrestler. The one that had a dark side of the ring. He's a garbage street wrestler. He was arrested. He's a bank robber. He was the bank robber. Nick Cage. Nick Gage. He was
Oh,
wrestling
okay.
Nick Gage on TV on AEW, and he used his pizza cutter, which is his signature move, and he cut Jericho. And then right after the break, the first ad was Domino's Pizza. And Domino's was pissed. Domino's was pissed. I think Jim Cornette
Ooh,
talked about it.
Wow.
They
I
were
was pissed
pissed.
as well.
That's like having a Kentucky Fried Chicken when you remember when CNN did they were doing the bombings and then they were like, "Hey, a whole bunch of chicken fry, whole cold
Yeah.
beer on a Friday night."
It's just a bad placement
It's
of
like,
ads. It's like,
you didn't
oh
just do
shoot.
that.
Yeah.
No, the worst thing, no, the funniest thing when, in my beautiful native country of Puerto Rico back then when cockfighting was a thing, I
Yeah.
went to one of these cockfighting, and you know what they were selling? Fried chicken.
Yeah.
Talk about irony.
Right.
Yeah, that's an irony. Yeah.
Wow.
But
You know what a cockfight is? Two guys in a wrestling ring. No, I'm just kidding.
Not in AEW.
Sorry, right?
Yeah,
Not in AEW, right.
yeah, he was wrestling. And so, who would be associated with AEW? WWE is taking years for them to rebuild their image.
Yeah.
Now they have all these nice sponsors like Snickers, and
Right.
they had Logan Paul's Prime,
Right,
and
Prime.
they have actual sponsors now. I wouldn't be surprised
Prime.
if the ring WWE ring would fill with more sponsors eventually.
They should do
Not just
that. They
Prime.
should do that with their politicians too, just like
Yeah.
NASCAR racers.
Yeah, like the UFC does with their canvas. They're
I'm
full of sponsors.
serious. We
Because
need
the
to see
one
who's
thing,
sponsoring you. Put APAC
Yeah.
right in the middle.
oh, they all sponsored by APAC.
Mhm.
I
Oh,
covered this last
absolutely.
night on my show with Dia. I mean, they were from 1988. That Mike Wallace did a fantastic coverage.
Right.
Oof.
And I say if they're going to act like NASCAR racers, we should have politicians go, great race today. It was a great race today.
They'll be like, oh, we got bombs, but we don't got enough bombs, but we'll send bombs.
Yeah, well, there's always bomb money, but yeah, I mean, the one thing about Vince, he was traditional. He was like he had his father somewhat traditional because he never put advertisements in the canvas. There was nothing on the canvas, so it was kind of like it's not like he learned that from his dad, and he never put any advertisements on the canvas or even in the ring anywhere. The advertisements were outside of the ring, but not in the ring because the ring is sacred.
Yeah.
Or at least
But
the
I
official
mean,
promoters would say that.
well, yeah. I mean, the territories, they had stuff around the ring, kind of like they do for baseball games now, where if you look around the stadium, there's all kinds of advertisements,
Yeah,
but
there's ads all over the place.
ads all over the place. So, I mean, there's that. It's irony is what we call it.
Yeah, there's ads even superimposed on the mound. Computer like they're imposed on the back of the mound.
Yes.
Like,
Who is sponsoring your baseball team?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
and I go back to
wink.
we got a commenter, Mace with Mr. Sacco. So I guess we would have to find out.
Where's Kit? He had
Right.
Mr. Taco. Mr.
Kit
Taco.
Kit went back to work.
I'm like, Kit, come on, man.
Kit went back to work. I mean, he had to go.
I'm like,
but,
Mace, Mr. Sacco. Then we will like who made those socks? I mean, I'm just saying.
I don't know, but I wouldn't want to sock down my throat. No offense, boys, but I mean,
I
I don't know where
Mick
that
Foley-
sock's been.
But
Mick
give me the
Foley
thin one.
Right.
Mick Foley bought random socks from Walmart probably, and then put them down his
Yeah,
pants.
that's even worse. Yeah.
That's even worse. And
Mick Foley-
did he wash them?
I don't know. He bought some socks from Walmart and put them down his pants to work, and it was like Mr.
And draw a little
Sacco.
face on it.
Right.
Mr. Taco. Like, it doesn't work, Mick. We see your lips moving.
Yeah, any socks in Walmart, yeah, you'll be like fuzzy, like
You see wrestlers go, puh, puh, puh. I'm like,
They had to sell the
"Ugh,
sock.
good thing I don't have to do that. I'd be like, no thanks, Mick. I think I'll
I
pass.
don't think. Did Steve Austin ever take Mr. Sacco? I don't think he did.
Yeah, well, he took the mandible claw, not
Yeah.
Mr. Sacco.
Yeah, I think Steve told Vince, "I'm not taking that friggin'
I'm not
sock,
thinking.
so
I don't know where
forget
that's
it."
been.
Yeah,
I don't know if he washed it.
yeah. So
Right.
he took the mandible claw, but he never did. I don't remember him ever taking it with the sock down Mick's pants. That's why.
Oh,
But it was down
Oh,
his pants. That's why.
right. It was.
Yeah, wasn't
that
like
brings a whole new meaning to ballroom.
Good.
yeah.
No
Because he would
wonder
wrestle.
wrestlers were going.
He would wrestle. He would wrestle 15, 20 minutes, and he would sweat. You know, he's big.
Yeah.
So
Right.
by the
And
time
then
he
he
pulled
would
that
pull out the
sock out,
Mr.
yeah,
Sacco.
yeah.
Wait a minute. So what? So all right. So let's
It's
say
kind
you
of like
guys.
the Rikishi thing where Rikishi
Right, I
would
was
stick his
about to
butt in
say
your
Yeah.
that.
face.
Uh-huh.
I was
Yeah.
about to say that.
He would wrestle
Vince.
15,
Great
20
minds.
minutes.
Great
And,
minds.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Great
So
minds.
what you take? Do you take the big, that
I mean,
big
who
butt?
wants someone's big butt in their face? Who wants that?
Right.
it was over. I mean, the
Ugh.
Rikishi got that over. Fans went nuts for that.
Yeah, I
Oh
know,
my
but
God.
the fans knew that would never happen to them.
Yeah.
Right.
Because then all the wrestlers are like, no, don't do
Yeah.
it.
Uh huh.
My God.
It was not.
You
It
remember
was
the
like,
Kiss My
whoa.
Ass Club? Vince
Yeah.
That was a
McMahon?
Vince thing. Yeah.
Oh man, he's like, well, at least my ass was clean. I'm like, yeah, but Vince, the point. It's the point, Vince.
Mhm.
Nobody
No,
wants to kiss your nasty ass.
either that
Yeah.
or remember the Jerry the King Lawler thing with the kiss my
Oh,
toe.
kiss my foot, kiss my foot. It
Uh-huh.
was Bret Hart.
Yeah, Bret
Yeah,
Hart. Yep.
he didn't wash his foot for like what was it, like a month?
Yeah.
He didn't. And he had like fungus and stuff coming
Yeah.
off his foot and stuff, and then
And then this guy, what's
Bret
his name?
stuck his actual toe in Lawler's mouth.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah. He
oh,
stuck
come
his own toe in
on.
his mouth.
Oh, come
What's his
on.
name?
He stuck it.
Ew.
Aldo Montoya, Justin Credible took that.
I mean, we love
first
you, Brett,
date.
but really?
But he
Did you
used
wash your
Lawler's
feet, Brett?
yeah, he stuck his foot down his in the Lawler's throat. Like, but
It's
he
a good
wanted
thing
to.
Kurt and Brett didn't do that.
Yeah.
But it only tells you how Vince thought that Vince McMahon is a wild dude. Maybe that was a fetish. I don't know, but Vince McMahon.
Ew.
Vince,
I'm
Well,
just
I don't
saying.
know. I don't know. They didn't say that because they just said that he shat on the woman's head. He didn't put her foot in her mouth, in
yeah.
his mouth.
Wow. Wow.
So Vince,
That's the thing, right? And and speaking of
talking
Vince
about-
McMahon,
uh-huh.
I was just gonna say, speaking of Vince McMahon, apparently Johnny Unitas is now on the side of Vince McMahon
Yeah,
because
I
he wants
heard
to
that.
rah any team that he wants to be part of, and,
Now,
and as long as he
initially-
doesn't lose money, right?
Initially, he
Right.
was a victim. If you remember, he was a victim of Vince.
Right.
Now, once Vince Vince's lawyers filed that request for arbitration because the NDA made it clear any problems had to go to arbitration. Laurinaitis, oh yeah, of course, I agree with Vince, arbitration. You know, it's like what? But you just said you were Vince was your victim, or you're a victim.
Yeah, you were a
of Vince.
victim
And
of
now-
Vince. Yeah,
And
you
now
were
you're like,
you
oh
were
yeah,
a
let's go to
pawn.
arbitration. Let's go to arbitration. Like,
Oh,
come
but
on, man.
Robert, yeah.
So that's the update of
Sorry
Vince.
if
I don't
my
know.
son is on, but
Ultimately, you know, I'm not sure where that lawsuit's gonna go. It's because Janelle Grant's lost a lot of credibility, especially when Vince they pointed out a lot of stuff about her. It's like, oh,
and like I
Uh,
said when they pointed it out, they will have public records of when her parents passed. And again, you don't become if you are losing a house, you don't get a high-rise apartment for losing a house because you go into bankruptcy. That doesn't happen,
Yeah.
guys. That doesn't
There's
happen in real
something-
life.
yeah,
It
when
happens in her little fantasy world.
Vince,
But again, I'm not for Vince, but
Yeah.
I will say she did get $1 million, and now I think Vince should make her give her back because literally, what's the point? She literally kept her mouth closed for the $3 million, but she
Yeah,
only got $1 million, and now all of a sudden, no, Vince is this and Vince is that, and Vince did mean
Vince-
things to me.
Vince
Mm.
stiffed her on the other $2 million, and that's why she talked. But technically, that's a violation of the NDA.
Right,
So that's why her lawyer is trying to invalidate the NDA.
right.
Or else, if the NDA is not
grape.
invalidated, then they have to go to arbitration, which
Great.
means now she has to get the money back because she broke the agreement. So
Right.
if the judge doesn't invalidate the NDA, so the judge has to rule on this. I'm not sure when he's supposed to rule on this, but
I
yeah,
mean,
we'll
it's a
update
lot
you
more
guys
than what
for
I
sure.
have, bad cookies. Trust me, give me $1 million, see what I do with it.
Right.
Because I would give it
Yeah.
to either Shriners or most of it to St. Jude's or Shriners.
So $3 million, but like I think Vince's filing said that her parents died a year or two before they even met. So, which is interesting because she
And
claimed
she
her
was
parents
living with that
died.
lawyer fiance of hers.
Yeah,
Again, lawyers are not poor. They are in the
yeah.
1%. And she
For
was a
the
lawyer herself, supposedly. She was going to she was going to law
law
school, I
school.
think. Yeah.
Yeah, so she's lying about what Vince's lawyer says are true. She's lying about her parents' death and she also is lying about being bankrupt because she was
Right.
living in Vince's building, and that's a multi-million-dollar condo
Yeah,
house.
you don't
It's not
get there
like
by
yeah,
claiming bankruptcy.
Right.
Newsflash for all you poor people out there who ain't got
yeah,
two dimes to rub together.
yeah. I
You
don't.
don't get in a high-rise apartment just because you are broke.
A big
Uh,
yeah.
he
Well, no
says he's
offense,
met
Kai.
some broke lawyer.
Yeah, but no offense, Kai. They stunk. They're not high-rise
Yeah.
lawyers. They're probably civil court. Civil court
I
lawyers
mean,
don't make a lot, but I mean like criminal
right.
court ones. Oh my gosh, they're making money hand over fist.
Well, whoever's Donald Trump's lawyers, I mean, they are getting
Yeah, yeah.
paid
Look at Donald
thousands of
Trump's
dollars an
lawyers.
hour. Yeah, they're getting paid
Right,
thousands of
right,
dollars an hour to defend
right.
Trump from all these
By the way,
cases.
Kai, nice to meet you. Or nice to see you.
Yeah, welcome. Please like if you haven't already. So, yeah, I mean, that's Vince's update. I mean, that's that
Yeah, I'm sorry. I
lawsuit.
wanted to transition better, but I can't make that cooler. Sorry.
Yeah,
I
that's
can't do it
fine.
like Brian Last. I'm sorry, I'm not Brian Last.
Yeah, we gotta work on our transitions, I guess. But
Speaking of which,
Yes.
which is which? For anyone who just came in, the hat is for getting to 40K. I promised I did a vote on my community page, and the people wanted to see the hat. So, top of the morning to y'all.
But what else? Is there anything
I need,
else?
I need that type of hat.
Yeah.
I need to
You
go.
be a warlock or a male witch.
Yeah.
Sweet hat. I mean, everybody likes the hat.
Apparently, I know.
Yeah,
I saw it on Amazon. I was like, "Ooh, I gotta get that."
sub. I mean, shameless plugs. They're a sub to Indie News Network. All the links in the description box below and here too in the chat. So make sure you do that. And is there anything else we want to talk about? Because it's been over 2 hours already.
We talked about AEW. We talked
Yeah.
about The Rock. There was something
Oh,
about The Rock.
yeah. I mean, he's lost thousands of followers on his social media.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he wants to talk about himself, and whenever the cameras go on, it's, "Oh, I'm this great guy," and then when the cameras go off, "Oh, I hate poor people."
Right.
Thanks, Rock.
Yeah, I
Too
mean,
bad your movie career got eaten by Black Adams.
Yeah.
which is why he came back to wrestling. Whenever his movie career, is not going well, he comes back to wrestling, get himself over, and then he goes back to Hollywood.
Yes,
Like
yo
he did right
mama, that's
now.
what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, like he's
literally,
doing
they
right now.
have. Yeah, like The Rock thinks he's the biggest, baddest dude to ever face, the wrestling ring. Dude, you're third generation. Who cares? Okay, they don't treat the second and third generations very well. So yeah, okay, so glad you made it, but like your movie career is. So
Yeah,
I mean, what do you have left? You have wrestling. That's it, and that you're on the
Black
board.
Adam. Black Adam was a horrible failure. He tried to
Yeah.
take over the DC Comics, be in creative control, of that.
Oh,
He
I
failed
know. They were
miserably.
talking about the fact that on movie set, actors were saying that The Rock was habitually late. He was like 8 hours at
Yes.
average. He was always late. Ryan Reynolds got mad at him because he was so late. They had to wait for him. He wasn't very nice to people. He peed in a watered. I mean, he didn't want to use the bathroom with the pores. Oh, come on, Rock. Come on, really? You're gonna be this rich person. You talk like the rich person you are. You have a Voss water bottle that you pee in, and then Jim Cornette was like, "Well, the guys always did that." I'm like, "Why didn't you just pee in the grass? It's nighttime. No one can see you."
Jim Cornette has a soft spot for The Rock, so which is why he won't go after him.
Right.
I
Because
don't like The Rock.
they knew each other from the late 90s WWF. So
But Jim Cornette said the guys, when they had to go to the bathroom, there was no place to go to the bathroom. They would pee in bottles. I'm like, why? You're out in the middle of nowhere. It's
Well,
nighttime. No one can see you. And even if they can, so what? They get a thrill, cheap thrill. Whoopee!
yeah, I mean,
You're a guy.
he was
You
8
can piss
hours.
anywhere.
Being 8 hours late is just inconsiderate and rude. I mean, it's like,
Yeah, they literally
dude,
had to wait for him.
it's so
Right.
inconsiderate. He's like, it's like really late. Like, I get, like, okay, you're a superstar, a Hollywood actor. You're late by an hour.
Right.
Okay, whatever. You get away with it. But 8 hours? I mean, he's pushing it
Yeah,
there.
an average
A
of 8
little
hours.
bit too much for me.
Yeah.
A
He's
little bit
pushing
too
it there.
He's
I mean,
become the prima donna that
the
he
prima
has.
donna Hollywood actor. Yeah.
He's become that
Mhm.
rich person, and then he that whole thing with Oprah. I'm sorry, I lost it. I hated The
Well,
Rock then. Back in the day when in the 90s when The Rock was
mhm,
popular, I didn't like The Rock. I thought his elbow was cheesy and it was only made to make the Undertaker laugh.
that
I
people's
didn't like
elbow.
his.
Yeah.
I didn't like any of his. I hated the rock bottom. I hated all that stuff. And I certainly lost my temper when he did that thing with Oprah. I was like, really, Rock? You have multi-millions of dollars and you want
They
us,
were.
the poor
Yeah,
people,
they
Yeah.
were.
to fund more poor people.
Wait a minute,
Rocket.
Miss Witchy. Hold on, Miss Witchy. Hold on. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Said so, and that's the bottom line,
Right.
baby.
Yeah, it's
And nobody beats Mr. Perfect. Nobody.
nobody. Well, it's 8. It was that's ridiculous. And then he was putting in his. He ruined the Fast and the Furious series because he put it in his contract that he couldn't get beat by anybody. Like nobody
Right.
can beat him in a fight in a movie. And then he had to get more. He had to beat up more people than Vin Diesel, who was the star,
Yeah.
and it was like, I'm like, it's a movie.
I'm sorry, y'all. This hat
Oh,
is bothering me, so I gotta take it off. Okay.
beautiful hat, though. Beautiful hat.
Yeah,
still
you
look
rode
good
for
for
most of the stream, but yeah, it was all he ruined all these franchises, and they're not going to recover. His movie
Right.
career is that's why he came back to wrestling to get over and then go back to Hollywood. He's doing a movie right now. His production company, he has his
Like
own
I
production
said,
company.
Black Adams ate his movie career. He ate it.
Yeah.
It ate it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It is non-existent.
nobody will hire him. That's why his own production
And
company. He's like,
and that's why he had to come back to wrestling. The only people who would have him and put him on the board of whatever.
TKO.
Whatever,
Yeah.
right.
Put him on the board because he's the Rock. Well,
And the funny thing that even when he was
he
there,
let all that fame go to his head.
right, and even there, he was not even promoting his UFL. I mean,
He owns the XFL, which became the UFL, and that's not
Right.
doing well either. So it's
yeah,
It's like every time everything he touches just goes to poop.
yeah,
right.
and
We're gonna swoosh you away. We're gonna flush you away, Rock, because you're poop.
The Rock might as well stick with wrestling. I don't
That's what
because
I said. But he's too old to wrestle. Come on, I don't think he could
Well-
wrestle, but he's getting older, guys.
the Rock has 2 matches he has to do: the one with Roman and the one with Cody that they set up. So
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But he's
and
still
after
getting
that,
older.
he should be
He ain't
done.
getting younger.
After
don't-
that, his wrestling career should be done. He should not be coming
Just
back
be
and
a
forth.
board.
And, yeah.
It's
Let's
just
beat on
being
the.
deleted.
So because they set up the match with Cody with right before he left, is like when I'm coming back, me and you are getting in the ring.
That's right.
And he has to wrestle Roman because that's the match that was promised, which they did that pivot right before WrestleMania. So yeah, those are the 2 matches that he promised them.
But
They
I mean,
needed
no
it-
offense, but he's not getting any younger.
No, which is why these matches has to happen in like a year.
I mean, they have to happen now
Have
because
to happen in the next year.
he's
year
in
and a
great
half.
shape. No
Yeah.
one's denying that he's in great shape. But I mean, how many more years does The Rock have before say la vie he turns into Ric Flair? He actually thinks he's The Rock,
Mhm.
and he
And
lives
somebody
like
said-
he's The Rock.
Mhm.
Yeah, somebody said a mineral. What the hell? Come on, Maze.
A mineral.
Yeah,
Well, a rock
Well,
is
not
like
that, not a Rock, The Rock.
yeah, right. Not
But
a
actually, there
diamond.
was a Rock before him. It was Don Morocco was
Don-
called
yeah,
The Rock.
Don
yeah,
Morocco.
right.
Mhm.
But the shirt with all the colors and all that good stuff. Wow.
Cody at Rumble. He faces Cody at Rumble and Roman at Mania. But that's a year away. I mean, I don't know
yeah, I
whether.
mean, again, The Rock's going to be a year older, so I mean, get it in while you can, and then just let him be board of directors because he thinks he's all that in a bag of chips now because he got money.
I assume if Cody's still champion by then, he'll beat Cody and then Roman become champion again at Mania. But he doesn't need the belt. Roman doesn't need the belt, so I don't know how that would work.
No, he had it. He had it
Yeah,
for what, 4 years?
3 years, 3.5 years. He doesn't
3.5
really need
years,
another
excuse me.
run. He doesn't really need another run with the belt. He's like Brock Lesnar legend status at this point, so he doesn't need the title.
There's another misfit. I'm sorry, I do not like Brock Lesnar. That dude. Beep that dude, okay? Beep that dude, okay?
So Roman shouldn't be champion anymore. So unless Cody drops it and then faces The Rock, and he has to beat The Rock. There's no way Cody can eat another fall to The Rock because he ate one at WrestleMania in the tag match.
Right.
So he can't eat another fall to The Rock. He
and
has to
making
get
The
his
Rock
win
the
back.
champion would literally. I mean, I don't know. I can't see him
bad, yeah.
being champion again. I mean, no. You don't want to make Rock champion.
I'm with you.
And give him a bigger head about himself. And cookies, Brock Lesnar sucks. He sucks.
You suck.
He couldn't even beat Kurt Hennig. He couldn't beat Mr. Perfect.
Y'all heading out, and probably in a few, not right this second, but it's interesting. But
well, yeah, I mean, I agree with that. Chris Jericho stinks. And I would agree with that. And I hate both Brock Lesnar and Chris Jericho.
Cody can lose the title to Gunther at Mania.
I mean, if they're going to pump him up, if they're going to put Gunther in the the title run,
he has to win King of the Ring first. He has to win that.
You think Gunther's going to take it?
He needs something because he got beat by Sami Zayn at WrestleMania.
Did we finish the card for King of the Ring? I'm sorry, we totally went off on a tangent. Okay,
we did. It's not that many matches, so we did. But as of now, at least, it's 5 matches. We'll see with that. They probably add more. They still have 2 weeks. But...
In our day, when the first King of the Ring happened, wasn't there like 6 or 7 matches? 8?
And 3 of them were King of the Ring tournament.
Were King of the Ring tournament, yeah. Like tournament matches.
Remember when Randy Couture whipped Brock's ass? Yes, I do. That was early UFC days. That was the UFC.
Oh, that's why I never watched him in the UFC.
Yeah, Brock got beat by Randy Couture.
He's a wuss. Come on, the dude hated wrestling.
And Randy Couture nearly 50 by that point. He still beat up Brock.
At that time. Yeah, at that time.
I have nothing nice to say about Brock Lesnar. He tried to take something Kurt said and twist it. And now everyone thinks that Kurt Hennig, that he trained Brock Lesnar. No, he didn't train Brock Lesnar. He worked out with him a couple times.
Yeah, he didn't train him at all.
No, he went to the gym with him a couple times. And then he started complaining about, I got to go on the road.
What you mean, Witchy? A couple? Just a couple?
Well, he a couple of times, Kurt did give him props. He was going to be the next thing.
Everybody
because
knows.
I mean, Brock was big. He was like the Warrior, but I mean, Brock just he went down with it, and it's kind of like what Kurt said in the interview that I have of him. There's nowhere to go but down with the body, and that's because you're all jacked up.
Yeah,
you can't build.
Scott Hall said it like best. Don't make your body your gimmick. Because you're going to lose your bodies. First thing
you're going to lose your body as you get older.
Yeah.
So
your gimmick has to be something else. Like, it's here. It's not here, even though you look great right now.
Here.
But
so you do that psychology towards the fans when you are heel, you make the fans hate you, and that's called getting heat. Yeah. When you're a baby face, you make the fans like you. So you stand up for yourself and you're the tough baby face,
and that's why I enjoy this podcast, because you know more wrestling than me, and that's a true fact, because a lot of people forget it's all about the mind.
And Kurt in his later years would go and he would do a little bit of steroids, but he bulked up a lot because he was in the gym all the time.
Yeah, so
And you know, if you've seen him in 2002, he was good looking.
Yeah.
I mean, he was.
Yeah, he
mhm.
was. He
I'd
was
hit
bigger
that.
than his
Richie,
90s run
relax.
in WWF.
Relax. Take a deep
You're
breath.
just
He was-
mad because I wouldn't hit Shawn Michaels. Bleh, bleh, bleh.
But yeah, he was bigger in 2002 than he was in his early 90s run with
Yeah, he
WWF.
was big.
He was more athletic. That was Kurt's draw, though. He wanted to be athletic so he could go the 90 minutes or the 60 minutes if it had to.
Mhm.
Because remember, everybody, in AWA, Kurt had a few matches. I'm talking like 3, maybe 4 matches that were Iron Man matches. They were 60-minute matches with
Yeah.
Nick Bockwinkel.
Mhm.
So
He
Kurt was
went-
used to that 60-minute,
Yeah,
you know, you
he
have to
went-
be athletic and not go.
Yeah. In those days, it was called going. He's going Broadway. He went 60 minutes.
Right. Instead of being
He's-
blown up, as they call it,
Yeah,
they call it being
and-
blown up, where
yeah.
Warrior would just pass out. He would just pass out and people were stepping
Hogan-
over the Warrior.
Yeah, Hogan told us allegedly after 5 minutes in their WrestleMania 6 match,
No,
or 2
cookies.
minutes, he was done. Like, I got nothing, man. After 2 minutes, it was like,
And we got 10 more minutes of a match.
We got 15, 20 minutes left. What do you? He had him in a sleeper. It's like, what do you mean? We
Mhm.
got 15
Those are what
minutes
they
left.
call hold matches, or
Yeah, the wrestle. Where
yeah,
they call the spots, like
yeah,
during that. And Hogan's like, we got 15
rest
minutes. What do you
rest
mean?
spots. They call them rest
Yeah.
spots.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like,
And
what are
no,
we gonna?
bad cookies. Brock Lesnar was not athletic more than Mr. Perfect. I don't think so.
In his
No.
early days, in OVW, Brock's able to do a shooting star press, like no problem. It was like, and he's 275 pounds. I mean, he's
Well, this is what I said about Chris Jericho. Like, I never liked Chris Jericho because, if you go back and watch the WCW match he had with Kurt on December 29th, 1997, guys, go look it up. He tries to do that lion salt and screws it up because he doesn't know how to do
Yeah,
it. What
yeah,
would Dusty
that I
tell him?
remember.
Hey, don't do stuff you can't do.
Right.
Thank you, Coco. Time flies with you guys. Yeah, it's way past. It's past 10 o'clock. We usually wrap up by 10, but that's fine. And Gigi says, "Why is wrestling and politics? Wrestling and politics are very similar. That's why I've always contained."
The only thing is the politicians, they're no baby faces. They're all heels and they all suck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
They're like,
I've
they're like
always maintained.
AEW.
I've always
Nobody knows
maintained that
what anyone else is
politics.
doing.
I always maintained that politics and wrestling are very similar.
And
Right.
I always, yeah, big time. And it's funny. I mean, I remember years ago, even pre-COVID, what's his name? Eric Bischoff was on Tech Talk, and he kind of mentioned the same thing too. I'm with that program too. Politics. We do forget that Donald, whatever his name is, he was a big wrestler.
Donald something.
Yeah,
right.
He was a big one. Like, he appeared at. He did the WrestleMania 22 Battle of the Billionaires, so he was involved in wrestling,
which was dumb to begin with because why would millionaires want to mess with anyone other than poor people?
Right.
So the storyline didn't make sense. Donald Duck. That's it. Donald Duck.
Yes. That dude that is orange. He's orange 24/7.
This Donald we're referring to was the former president. Is very likely
we
to become
had
president
it good.
again.
Only, you had to be over 18 and live in Minnesota, but we had it good. If Jesse Ventura, if he had run for president, we would have it good, guys. We would have it great.
Yes.
The only point is that there was no way they were going to let Jesse run and not do a JFK 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
No way.
Which is why Jesse never pulled the trigger and actually ran. I think he knew he wouldn't last long.
Yes, they would have JFK'd him.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, you guys are wild. Dang.
Even though he flirted with the run.
Yeah, he made a run for it, and then everyone was like, oh, "You can't do that," and we're like, "Yes, he can," because he speaks for us poors.
When he ran for governor of Minnesota, the only reason why he won because they let him in debate, which was their
they
mistake.
were stupid enough to let him in debates.
I heard Jesse sided with Ukraine. I mean, he's been
he's been wrong on Ukraine. He was wrong on masks.
Yeah.
He was wrong. He's wrong with the whole. I don't know about his Israel stance. I haven't really heard of any interviews about that. But yeah,
he went on the Vanguard recently.
Oh no! Can we talk
Yes.
about that next week? Can you get
Yeah,
some clips
yeah.
from the Vanguard?
Yeah. I mean, there's clips. They uploaded clips, like, so I would definitely
Don't
talk about that next
don't tell
week.
me he's with Israel.
I don't know. I haven't seen that, but
Okay.
I haven't really. I
I
watched
hope not.
the only part I watched was when he teased going back to WWE
Yeah,
that
that
we
I
talked
did
about a
see
few
that on
weeks
X,
ago.
yeah. And then I
Yeah,
went, "Come on, Jesse. Honey, you have a podcast and you can barely remember certain, wrestling matches. You can
yeah,
remember people, but not matches."
Oh yeah.
yeah. So I haven't watched the whole. I should probably watch the whole interview and then clip and talk. We could pull out certain things and talk about it. But yeah, I hate the Vanguard. I called him Kyle Kalinski's henchmen, but but
That's
whenever.
because, like, literally they gave a softball interview to Ryan Grimm and then took the rest of it, blamed Jimmy Dore and their audience.
Mhm.
Guys,
I
look, if I
remember
sit
that.
here and go, "Oh, Bad Cookies, you suck and I hate you." Bad Cookies is not going to be here much longer. You cannot tell your
Yeah.
audience that they're to blame for what you did.
Yes.
So if I come in
Yeah.
here and I'm just like, "Oh, I love Donald
eh,
Duck and blah blah blah, and the Republicans are awesome and blah blah blah," okay, people are not going to watch.
Yeah, they're not. Because that's just, you might as well go to Fox News, if you're good enough
Exactly.
to have an
Exactly.
audience. But
Exactly.
yeah, I mean, Jesse did an hour. His son was there too, Tyrell. So
Tyrell.
they were both there.
Tyrell.
So I'm guessing like he was kind of there to babysit Jesse and make sure he didn't go off and
Off on
because
a
he is
tangent.
yeah.
Yeah.
So but I was like, why is Tyrell there? I know they want to talk to Jesse, but I guess
Well,
that was the reason why he was there.
I will say this from what I have talked to Tyrell many, many
Hmm.
times through Clubhouse. When I talked to Jesse, I had 2 interviews. You'll check that links in the description field. When I
Uh huh.
talked to Jesse, I talked to him twice on Clubhouse. I didn't post his my talks with Tyrell because 1, I only have 1, and 2, we talk about movies. We don't talk about, wrestling. Because
Okay.
Tyrell didn't get into that stuff, but he was in a movie. Tyrell was
Yeah.
in Abraxas with Jesse, his
Yeah. He
dad.
did.
But from talking to Tyrell, he's such a great dude. I mean, he is
Yeah. I
so
mean, he's.
nice. He really knows he goes, "Wow, you really know your movies." I'm like, "Well, you do too, dude."
Well, I mean, yeah, it's unfortunate that Jesse would go on the Vanguard. I was like, that's not the first time he's done it. I think he did it once before, so the second time he's gone on. It was.
I don't remember what interview Tyrell did, but he that's the reason why I found them on Clubhouse and why I talked to Jesse twice
Uh-huh.
about Kurt Hennig, of course.
Yeah.
Tyrell, I know he knows Joe Hennig because they all went to the same high school. But I think Joe was a little older than him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, they did that interview. It was like an hour and change. They went and I was like, but I have to watch. I didn't watch it. But I'm sure that Jesse says some cringe stuff because he lately has. So it was like, and like, but the Vanguard did this. Like they
Yeah.
just bobbleheads,
Like
just
they
Yeah.
were just,
morons. Yeah,
"Oh, it's Jesse
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
Ventura.
yes,
I'm gonna come in my
yeah,
pants."
yeah. It's like,
Okay,
and they
we
yeah.
get
didn't.
it. We love Jesse too, but guys.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's why I probably never get because we'll never get him because unless we talk about wrestling. But if we talk about politics, I would have to challenge him, and then he wouldn't like it too much. So it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I mean, if we could get Jesse to come on and tell him, "Hey, Jesse, look, this is the facts. The facts are that Putin didn't just wake up one day and go, I think I'll nuke Ukraine." Toon. He didn't do that.
yeah, he
No,
didn't.
this has been going on since 2014. The
Yeah,
U.S. is
it's
always
been.
a part of
Hmm.
it.
Hmm.
And masks don't work. I'm sorry, but your mother is wrong. Someone probably told her that stuff. Because my parents used to tell me stuff all the time, and then I would look it up, and it would be completely wrong. It
Yeah.
happens.
Hmm.
Our parents get wrong information.
Yeah.
Oh, big time. And knowing Jesse, he was like, well, let me tell you. I mean, the thing is that in today's culture, here we go on some
I
van.
and this is I hate to say this, but I think he has some kind of dementia.
It could. Yeah,
And
He's
I
out
would
because
there.
hate that. I would hate to
when
think that of Jesse,
He's
but
out there. He's out there.
when he
he's
would what?
starting to talk like an establishment shill, and that's never
Yeah.
been Jesse. Jesse has
Yeah.
never been
Right.
that way.
I
Yeah. He's
mean,
like. Yeah, and he does this too.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
it's a nervous tick that
yes.
yeah.
he still does it. I saw him in the Vanguard. Like, oh, he still does it. He's doing this the whole time.
Mhm.
Mm,
I mean, I just
Mhm.
Jesse was so awesome,
Yeah,
and I
it's
hate to see they say don't meet your heroes, and this is why I don't
mhm,
want to meet Jesse, and I don't want to think differently of him. Even though yes, he was talking about he would say on his show, "Go get the shot," because the
yeah,
shot is good. You should get the shot. I got 10 of them. But
yeah.
a lot of people would push back on him, and he'd be like, "I never said go get the shot. I never said you should get the shot." I was like,
You
yeah, you
did.
did, Jesse."
Did you forget?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think, yeah, I think the either it's Alzheimer's or it's dementia setting in.
Yeah, it's
That
something.
they,
He's older, and he's talking about going back to WWE. And like, what role would he have? Why would Triple H hire him? What?
Bad cookies, I will come over there and whoop you. He was the
but it's
greatest wrestler to ever live. Nobody beats Mr. Perfect.
Oh,
Nobody.
nobody.
he
But
went
it's
on
bad
Savvy.
cookies are Mace and I
He
think
went
there
on
was
He went on Savvy's show too. I didn't know that. I never saw that interview.
Yeah, I never saw Jesse on Savvy.
Maybe he did.
yeah, it gotta be recent. It gotta be
It,
like in the
Well,
last 2
I'll
years.
look for it, but
yeah, well,
I'll
look,
look for it
I
on
haven't seen
YouTube.
that one. Yeah,
Is she on
because there's.
Rumble? Is Sabby on Rumble too?
I think so, but I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe not. I don't because she has 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. I'm not sure whether she made that move or not.
but I know
It
I'll
was
be
about
in
2
it
years
stuff.
ago.
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
gonna say
okay,
Yeah.
because
2
I
years
saw him
ago.
on
It wasn't
something
recent
called
then.
I forgot what it's called now, but it was a show that they talk about politics and Jesse actually shed tears. And I get it. He was talking about how they got rid of John Lennon because John Lennon was talking about peace. And look
Yeah.
what happened to John Lennon. He said everybody that I know of that was talking about peace, they got rid of.
Mhm.
So
And he's
they deleted them basically.
yeah. All right. Good night, Coco. Thank you for the support. So
Say Coco.
Oh, thank
yeah,
you, Coco. I know I'm his favorite
yeah,
or their favorite. I'm sorry.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's Jesse is shit.
He
Like, come on.
advertises Tesla? Is that true?
I don't know. It's bad cookies, so he could be trolling, but
Okay. I was gonna
Um,
say
I haven't
I
seen
never
that
heard
yet.
Jesse say anything about Tesla. I
Yeah.
do
So.
know that it sounds like he's like sold out to the establishment, and I hate to think that because I love
Yeah.
Jesse and I love his legacy, what he did for wrestling. I like what he did in Minnesota. I've talked to several people who their parents
Uh
did
huh.
very well under Jesse. Um, so I mean, I'd hate to think that he's an establishment shill now. But you
He went
never
on.
know. I mean, he could be
I mean,
because again, his wife Teresa, unless you heard him on Clubhouse say this, his wife Teresa suffers from epilepsy.
Yeah.
mm,
And the only way they could control that was with cannabis.
The
So
cannabis.
that's
Yep.
why he came out with that book, The Cannabis Files or something like that.
Hmm.
So I- I'd hate to think they went after his wife because he loves Teresa. And
Yeah.
Teresa is his soulmate. Let's face
Apparently,
it.
Jesse went on Sabby during that interview. He says how much he loves his Tesla and everybody should buy them. So it was on
Yeah, but
Sabby.
Jesse, nobody has money for a Tesla, honey.
Mm,
I mean,
Us
only
poor
just
people, we don't have
yeah.
Teslas because
mm.
we can't afford them. We
That's
couldn't
why I
afford
mean,
the hookup in our house either.
yeah.
Oh, that's very. Yeah. That hookup is extremely expensive and sucks a lot of electric. So you would have to go to one of these charging stations, but it takes
Right.
hours to charge the
It takes
vehicle. So
hours.
you have to
And
sit there.
again, not a lot of us can
Hmm.
hang around where we can just,
Hmm.
we only have an hour lunch. It's not like we can
Yeah.
sit there for 8 hours.
Yeah, you would
Like
have to
rich
sit
people
there for
can.
hours in order to
Right.
charge your car at the charging station.
Right.
So, and by the way, I have not had a drink. I mean, I keep screwing up words tonight, but I've not had a drink. I mean, I only had this water here.
Sure.
Woo!
Sure.
But this is my water bottle.
Uh
I don't even have any
Next
water,
time.
y'all.
huh.
I'm like the odd person out again.
So,
Wow.
unfortunately, yeah, I was like the Vanguard. What the hell, man? It's like I couldn't believe
Yeah,
it.
ever since they kind of blamed their fans and stuff, I'm just like, why do people watch?
Uh huh. So, Indy said we're gonna do a Mother's Day marathon for clips. So how do we miss that? Starting at 7. Okay. So Yeah, are you doing How Do You Miss That live or not? That's just a marathon because I know it's Mother's Day, so I'm just you want to
Yeah,
spend time
blessed
with
be
your
to all the
mom.
moms. I'm a
Yeah.
mom, so
Mhm.
happy Mother's Day to all those mothers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again,
Happy Mother's Day.
if even if you're
Mm.
okay, so it is Mother's Day, but make sure that you kiss those kids and
Yeah.
just tell them how much you love them. Because when
Uh-huh.
my son comes home tomorrow, I'm gonna hug him and tell him how
Yeah.
much he means to me. Because you never know, tomorrow's never guaranteed.
So no live. How do we miss that? It's just clips. Okay. Okay. We'll look forward to that. Tomorrow night. Starting at 7. I wouldn't think you guys would do a live one. It's Mother's Day, so you want to obviously spend time with your
But I'll be,
mothers.
yeah, I'll be dropping a podcast. I did recorded one today about mothers and all
Yeah.
that. It felt good and all that. So I'll be dropping a podcast tomorrow, and that
Of
definitely was
stories.
interesting.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
The 5+ hours of stories. Okay.
I will be dropping another episode of Kurt Hennig Was the Best, Changed My Mind, and I'm pretty sure. Let me just double check. I think it's episode 33, I think.
Uh huh.
And let me see. Let me just double check. Where am I at here? 32. 32 was Brutus. 34. Okay, yes. So 33, episode 33 is the watch along with Bret Hart and
Uh
Kurt Hennig at King of the Ring. So it's a
huh.
good timing, but I didn't
Yeah.
try that. So tomorrow on Rumble, you'll get to see a special theme song, my theme song. And then for YouTube, I just did this. I have a where Kurt talks and says he's absolutely perfect, and then it's just a picture of Kurt, and then it's going to lead into the podcast. So I followed your
Uh-huh.
advice, Angel, and I did one for Black Magic Talk where it's just a,
Uh-huh.
witching laugh. It's like hee.
Yeah.
And then I did that with a picture of the picture I have as a logo.
Yeah.
So that will be on tomorrow night. Rumble is at 9. I'm gonna probably do YouTube a little later than usual because I already edited the
Yeah.
edit. I already edited the video. So catch that around whenever I get home from the park with my son because we're going
Yeah.
to Walmart and then the park.
And I'm going to
Um,
Mother's Day thing, so
yeah, it's
I
a
won't
Mother
be home
Day
all day.
thing. Yeah, I know. I love you too, BX. Even though you hate, you like Edge.
Yeah, Edge. I wish he loved Shawn Michaels, and yo,
Hey,
Richie, you
no,
have.
HBK,
Why, yo, come on! I was about to wish you. You
perfect,
know what?
baby. He
Wait
was
a minute.
not perfect.
Wait a minute. I gotta wish a beautiful Mother's Day to you, and
Thank
I
you.
Yeah.
definitely will be. I'll be dropping a link on my whatever what do they call it, Twitter, X,
Twitter
whatever.
X. Yeah, I call it Twitter a lot of
Yeah,
time.
for the Mother's
I
Day
don't
out
know
there.
why Elon Musk changed the name. I mean, that's ridiculous. Like,
I
dude,
mean,
it's
if you want
Twitter.
to drop a line and say Happy Mother's Day to me on X, by all means, please
Yeah.
do so.
Got you.
Yeah.
Like I
Got
said, I
you.
will be dropping the newest episode of Kurt Hennig Was the Best, Changed My Mind. And then Monday night, we have a talk with Chris. I forgot his last name again. But we will be talking to him.
Yeah.
He's from the UK and he will be talking about his book and also about paganism. So Black Magic Talk,
Mhm.
everything will be in the description field
Mhm.
on my channel, on your channel, and
Yeah.
everybody's
I put
channel.
it there. Yeah. But
Absolutely.
But yeah, Angel in the afternoon for me every Friday at 7. I had D on last night. People tell me it's not afternoon. You do it in the evening. Yeah, I know, but
Well, it's
it's still
afternoon
because
somewhere.
yeah,
Doesn't
it's in the
matter.
West Coast. So
It doesn't matter what after.
so
Ah,
Angel in the afternoon is every Fridays at 7. We do this show every Saturday at 8. Unless there's a
8 o'clock.
pay-per-view that night, then we'll
I
have
was
to
gonna
move it
say
to
unless
Friday or
we change
Sunday.
it, but we will let you know beforehand
Yeah, I
when we
mean we
change
would.
it.
Most like
Absolutely.
during pay-per-views, either because there's no pay-per-view in the United States until August for SummerSlam.
Right.
So one is in Scotland, one in Saudi Arabia, one's in I think London. They're doing Money in the Bank in London. So
Yeah, yeah.
Well, they do
yeah,
want to, push that European tour.
yeah. So they're not, but we don't have to worry about that for a while. But for now, it's gonna be either Fridays or Sundays. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, I have no other shows and other plans. So that's my shameless plugs and. And I
And
think that
nobody beats Mr. Perfect.
perfect.
Nobody.
Well, it's the longest episode we've ever done, 2 hours and 20+ minutes. So yeah, we're gonna wrap up. My battery's dying and I'm getting kind of tired. So it's like I'm ready to watch Snow Himbo get slaughtered by Chicken Boss in his stream coming up right after this. Yeah, I mean Snow Himbo's coming up too right after week, so we do have to go. But yeah, that's right after this at 11. So look forward to that on the INN channel. Your mama's fat says I got good news. I mean, you better hurry up because we're wrapping up.
That's right.
Owen Hart never beat Mr. Perfect. What are you talking about? He was a blue blazer and he lost.
Right.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
yo?
I mean
Well, let's not forget.
Go have that drink. Oh yeah, I got it. I got some drinks.
I've been freaking 2 hours without water. What's wrong with me?
Yeah, I brought one bottle. That's why I keep I keep doing that. But
I need
Look
a
up.
refill.
Look up what?
Literally,
Look
like
up
look
what?
up. There's nothing there. Just a ceiling.
Yeah, my ceiling.
No, but
Yo,
once again, I just want to wish the beautiful mothers out there. I
he's
did my
referring to the
podcast.
chat.
Yeah, he's referring. Yep.
He's
So I
referring to
just
the
want
chat.
to.
That's why it's this. Yeah, that's what he's referring to.
So much
Oh,
love out there to
well.
beautiful mothers out there. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a political show, but people are actually motivated to try to stop, what Israel is doing, and I think that's great. More,
We
we'll
need
see.
free speech,
Yeah.
but it's slowly going away.
All right. Good night, Bad Cookies. Thank you for the street. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate the compliment. I mean, we appreciate it. Apparently, we're
The people
getting
are shutting down the Manhattan Bridge, blocking cops from arresting the protesters. Okay.
yeah.
Well, that's good. Good for them. That's good.
Right.
Well, with that, we're going to wrap up this episode. I want to thank you everybody. I want to thank everybody for watching. I keep tongue-tying myself. I want to thank everybody for watching. Make sure you like. Very important to like because the algorithm is keeping this stuff down.
Share,
subscribe, share, all that good stuff. I got to put more clips out of the show. It's like I'm getting lazy on the clips.
I love those clips. They make me laugh so much.
Yeah, I got to start putting those clips out.
Yeah, put my clip with the white boys.
Oh my god. Here we go. He's gonna be trending now. He's gonna be trending for no freaking reason.
Hey, listen, I did the Malcolm X, thing going on.
I just want to say one more thing. Cornette was trending again, but he was out in the yard and said he didn't give a crap. I don't even remember what it was for.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Oh yeah, it was for giving the Samantha lady a compliment.
Oh yeah.
Oh, God forbid he give someone a compliment.
So stupid.
Oh.
Yeah. He's like, I'm a fan now. I'm a fan
now, and everyone's like, yeah. Why did you let him do that?
That's so stupid. All right, well, that'll do it. Hope everybody enjoyed. People seem to be enjoying the show, which I'm grateful for.
Don't get me started.
Because I never thought that. Yeah, I the show is successful, but at the same time, is like I'm really proud of what we've done so far. Only been episode 13. I mean, what can we accomplish in a few months time, or a year even. So
let's just get bigger and keep growing.
Yeah. So until next Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern, we'll see you then. Have a nice weekend and stay safe.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.